What's poppin', people? This podcast is brought to you by American Express. Being an Amex member means I'm always looking forward to the next time I can go see one of my favorite artists. Like I just saw Lil Wayne at the Apollo Theater just a few nights ago. I love a good live show in the summer because there's nothing like those songs that stick to your ribs during the best time of the year. And with Amex, it's not about if you see your favorite band in concert or artist, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it. This podcast is brought to you by American Express. You're a member when there's always a show to look forward to. American Express. Don't live life without it. What's poppin', people? This episode of Say Less with Kaz, Loki, and Rosy is brought to you by Mickey D's. All the best nights out always end with a bite from Mickey D's. Now, I know when I'm going out with my people and we get into a full car of what you wants that breaks out in the middle of my whip, the Mickey D's drive-thru is just the right amount of chaos I'm always looking for before we end the night. Everyone's got their own Mickey D's moments. Go on and make more delicious memories. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Let's get it.
What's poppin', people? Welcome back to another episode of Say Less with Kaz.
Yo. Whoops, wrong sound.
Another fuck up by DJ.
The nationwide famous Kaz.
Yeah, that's right.
I ain't gonna say world yet.
Yeah.
The world famous.
Worldwide renowned.
World famous.
What a week.
I don't know how to say your last name, so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that white man. I'm so proud of that white
I
man.
appreciate
That
it.
white man pronunciated that shit
First
perfect.
off,
But you know he practiced.
Oh, he had to.
Jeez.
First off, the white man's name is Pat McAfee. He is absolute
Pat.
legend in the podcast, the media world.
Man.
And again, still fucking floored and honored.
What they want with you?
What
they wanted
You
with
told me
you?
who it was, but I'm just pointing out that we can't say it. And that white man killed it.
Yeah, that way, yeah.
Wait, look,
First try.
pronounce my last name, bro.
Fumyende.
Where's the N? There's no N in there.
Famyende.
Famunde.
There's no N.
Kazeem fam.
Famunde.
Gosh.
Famuri.
Y'all supposed to be my friends.
What's my middle
And I'm
name?
Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Whoa! Time out. Whoa, okay, and low key, by the way.
Okay.
Damn, I'm like, can I? Yeah, I
Oh, yeah,
understand
go
this
for the
man was
intro,
on-
right?
yeah.
Let's do it again. Here we go, Rosy.
Shit, like I'm chopped liver now?
What's poppin', people? Welcome back to another episode of Say Less with Kazeem.
Yo.
Low.
Yeah, thanks.
Taylor.
The fuck?
Taylor Key.
Taylor.
Gay.
Man's on a worldwide show now. It's like,
Gay.
I don't exist.
Taylor.
And Rosy.
Gang.
Jesus
What's up,
Christ.
Rosy?
What's up, man?
Hanging in there.
I am on Apple Music. I mean, like,
But the thing is,
Well,
I didn't
you
know
go
your
viral
middle
every
name
week,
was
bro.
Taylor.
huh?
You
I didn't know that was your middle name.
I'm not gonna lie.
That was my grandmother's maiden.
I love a strong co-ed name.
Unisex.
Unisex.
Unisex is the word you're looking for.
Taylor-
I said
Yeah,
co-ed.
She was about to say you got a girly name. I was like, no, it's unisex.
I was
No,
going to say
because
co-ed, but I don't know why. But
Co-ed.
unisex. I mean,
I know what she was
it's-
trying
yeah,
to
it's the
say.
same thing, yeah.
because I couldn't think of the word unisex.
Nah, but
I love
my
it.
niece's name is Taylor.
Okay.
And then my grandmother's maiden name was Taylor.
Oh.
So Taylor was passed down. Like,
Would y'all say you guys are a Taylor gang?
It's like if you weren't, if you weren't, shit, here we go with the DJ shit.
Taylor gang. Taylor gang.
If you weren't a father, I'd be like, yo, your jokes are horrible. But because you're a father,
They're dad jokes.
the dad jokes. So I'm gonna give you a pass.
That's an elite young black nigga dad joke, yo.
You love dad jokes.
I love dad jokes. Dad jokes are the best jokes.
Kaz has been telling dad jokes before he was a dad.
I know.
I didn't think they were called dad jokes back then. They used to be just riddles, knock jokes.
Do you watch those guys on Instagram, the two guys with the coffee? All they do is say
What?
dad jokes. It's just two guys with coffee mugs by a river.
Okay.
And I sent you their page before. All they do is tell dad jokes.
I
Back then.
seen Whistle Sports do the dad jokes with like the NFL players.
Oh,
I've seen that. Yeah, I saw that.
It's like the try not to laugh challenge, and they just say that. Like
No.
I love that. Shit.
I've seen that.
send me that. I haven't seen
I'll
that.
send you that. Shit's hilarious.
That's funny. That's not funny.
I want to laugh and,
Man,
Look at people.
Shout out to everybody who tuned in last week. Shout out to the legendary Hawaii Mike for
Yes.
having us at his humble abode at the Fly Private. Shout out Chef for Hire. Hope you all enjoyed your holidays, however you spent it. I know I sure did because you see these Knicks.
I can't. I mean,
You see these Knicks.
at this point right now,
I'm gonna let him have it right
You
now.
see these things?
I can't say, I can't say anything. I
I'm
can't say
gonna
nothing.
break the
Let him.
air horn
let me finish.
button.
I'm finished. You done?
Hey, you
Well,
finished?
let's talk about it.
Are you done?
City's on
Here
fire,
comes
Lo.
Jake with his.
You already know what it
Kaz,
is. Get in here, Jake.
Kaz,
Get in here, Jake.
I'm gonna let you have
The
it
city's on fire,
because they
Jake.
doing good.
Talk to
doing
him,
good.
Jake.
However,
They're doing
don't
good.
cry on our shoulders.
No, they're gonna get out this. They're gonna get out this round. Like we.
No, they're gonna get out. They're gonna get out. They're gonna get out. But
This is for you.
in a week and a half, do not come crying on our shoulders.
Because all right, so they play. Assuming they get out, they play Miami.
Yes,
If-
or
if they-
Milwaukee.
Or Milwaukee.
Or Milwaukee.
I don't see Milwaukee coming back.
I don't know.
Not after what Jimmy did last
Listen,
night.
but
Jimmy Butler.
it's happened before.
Happened before.
No, it's happened. Yes, of course.
It's happened
of course.
before.
But
I
Jimmy
mean-
I
Butler
think
put on a
it's
show.
definitely gonna go to Game 7. That's my
I
prediction.
wouldn't be-
Milwaukee and Miami.
Maybe.
I bet you that.
By the time this episode drops, we'll know.
We'll know what the outcome is.
The outcome is it. But I think it'll be Monday. I think it'll be the second round. I think all the Game 7s
Wait,
are
you
of this
don't
Sunday.
think
There's a
the
three
Bucks
ones
can come back at least for a Game 7?
playing like how they're playing. No,
I
I
mean,
mean, Giannis was hurt. He got back last. He looked healthy.
but they,
last
and
night.
they still
healthy
held the
enough.
lead
3-1's a lot of games.
until they
yo.
couldn't.
bro.
Winning
you have to
three
win
straight games
three.
is a lot of games.
Natties.
That's
I
a
mean,
lot,
Bron and them
yeah,
did it,
yo.
but that's a hard task to do.
That's
Like,
a lot.
but we'll see what happens.
Anyway, regardless of what happens, by the time you guys listen
Oh, they're
to this
3-1.
episode-
Never mind.
Yeah, but
I thought it was.
what I was
3-2.
saying.
My bad. guys.
But regardless of what happens by the time you hear this episode,
Right.
one thing that can't be denied is New York City sports is having a moment right now. You know,
Absolutely.
New York sports. I don't think New York sports has been this hot since
Ever.
right? Not my adult life.
Not mine either.
Not my adult life. I've only heard about people like mythologizing like the spring of '94 when it was like the Rangers and the Knicks and you know Ewing and Jordan and Mark Messier and all this stuff. And you hear that forever, but this is the first time in my life that the Rangers, the Devils, the Islanders, the Brooklyn Nets, the New York Knicks,
Well, the Nets got swept, so it's like,
Yeah,
you got to push them out the
At
way.
least they made it.
I mean, at least they made it.
all in the playoffs.
Yep.
Add to the fact, Aaron Rodgers, new quarterback for the New York Jets.
He's gonna give y'all 2 good years, and then
I'll take him.
And he's gonna be high
I'll take him.
the whole time.
Wise man say.
darkness.
I was
Darknesses.
I was on McAfee. I was like, yo, Aaron, like, you know, he don't strike me as a New York guy. Maybe he lives in New Jersey. Lots of
He's
legal
gonna be in
weed
the
there.
woods in
Opposite.
Jersey.
Lots of wood-
on his
lots of
ayahuasca.
woodlands. Yeah, like,
Bro, that nigga gonna live in Alpine. Like,
Yeah,
he's
yo.
gonna be tucked off.
It's gonna be borderline Philly.
yeah, he'll live in Hackettstown or some shit. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
but that, you know, just the reaction and how long that process has taken.
Yeah.
And the players aside from Aaron, what y'all got.
Of course.
You know, you got 2 extremely talented receivers.
we had to say fuck them picks, which is okay. Which is
Hey,
okay. Fuck them
you
picks.
gotta sacrifice for the
Fuck
greater
them
good.
picks. Okay.
But no, you know, happy for the Jets.
Giants popping right now. They got to figure out what's going on with Saquon, though.
We don't know what's going
We
on
gotta
with
figure out what's going on
Saquon.
with Saquon, bro.
I'm mad that we didn't get OBJ and Baltimore got him, but you know we
I
secured our
don't think he would
quarterback.
have came back.
I think he should have came back.
I don't
what
think
I'm
he
saying.
would have though.
Yeah. Do you think? I don't know. I think when it comes to like certain situations,
Yeah.
Odell is such a star, yo.
Yeah.
Like he's such a mega star. Like sometimes like organizations just don't want to deal with all that.
They don't have the
extraness.
bandwidth to
But
deal with that.
sometimes, all right,
But
devil's
I love
advocate.
I mean, I think
No, I was gonna say devil's advocate. Sometimes, a lot of the times, because I hear people talking, they don't like the organization.
yeah.
And
Well,
they
that's
don't-
what it was.
and
That's-
they
I
don't
think-
want to play for them or work with them or work
I think
for
that's
them.
what it
or-
was at that time, that the organization front office, they were bumping heads. And I think that's what kind of just steered him away from it. I don't think it was the personnel, the morale. I
No,
don't think it
but
was
a
none
lot
of
of
that.
times with these players too, they don't like certain coaching styles. Too.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like they don't like that. They don't like certain calls that they make to
Well, that's what I'm
I feel
saying.
like
It's
you
just
gotta
the
be a
front office.
special-
Yeah, like, but you got to huddle around a guy like him. Like, you got to base your offense around a guy like him. And I don't think the Giants.
I don't think you got to base your offense around him, but you have to get like he has to be heavily involved.
Yeah.
Like you know, like you got Lamar Jackson, like that is your offense. Well, I think you have Lamar Jackson. I don't know what the fuck you guys
what
are
the
doing.
fuck they doing.
I don't know what they're doing over there, but I think you base your offense around that. But like yes, like having a player like Odell Beckham Jr. means you have to account for him, and that's everybody. That's
He's
the
got to
whole
be
building.
involved 2-3 downs every go.
But all that being said, right now, man, New York sports, if the Yankees is balling, Mets is balling.
Sheesh.
Like,
All right, when is our field trip? What game I want to go to a Yankees game.
I want to go. That's what I'm about to say. Like, I want to go to like a baseball game. Yo.
What?
I took myself to a baseball game like 2 years ago.
Yeah?
For the first time.
I think you wearing the Yankee hat. I think we should go to a Yankees game.
I think we
it's
should hit
awesome.
up a Yankees
I'm down.
game.
We got a couple connects that.
And
you know,
on top of
place
that,
us.
oh yeah, for sure. Shout out Ariel Epstein, my homegirl, do points bet as well. She does all the
Does Marcy
baseball
still work for the
content,
Yankees?
MLB.
Or does she
I don't
ever?
think Marcy's at TikTok now, I think.
Oh, okay.
But shout out to her. We're gonna pull up on the Yankee game.
Bro,
this
like
year,
even
man.
if we just go to a day game, like those tickets are not
Word.
crazy.
And on top of that, they
Go
got
to like a
Those
1
are
o'clock
fun.
game. That's the game I went
What,
to.
a Saturday or a Sunday at 1
Bro,
o'clock?
I went on a
In there.
random Wednesday at
Yeah.
a 1 o'clock, and I
Yeah.
went by myself. And I was sitting by myself, and I had like a bucket of chicken fingers and French fries.
All right, hold on, Lo.
Tall ass
Hold on,
beer.
Lo.
That shit was like $95,000.
Low key, wait a minute. I do a lot of shit by myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you beat me. I don't think I've ever been to a sporting event.
a sporting event
By
by
myself?
Yeah, I went. Yeah, that's.
I do a lot of shit by myself. I go to the movies.
I go
I
to
go to
movies by
dinner,
yeah.
eat lunch, happy hour, whatever.
But just like
But a game?
Yeah, like because I've never experienced it. So it's just like getting to the stadium, seeing all the hoopla, walking through Yankee Stadium. I've never been to Yankee Stadium, so I'm just looking at all the paraphernalia.
better
the
with your
memorabilia.
friends.
Yeah, it was cool. I was around random motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So you became friends with them. They were like, oh,
No, that's true.
I guess I was.
Baseball seems like if there's a sporting event to go to by yourself, baseball seems like the most likely sporting event to go to by yourself.
Because you got to
I don't
think.
know.
No, you got to
Like-
think.
Because football fans, they'll befriend you right away, too. All you got to do is go for the same team.
But like baseball
Baseball
games is such a vibe though. Like football games, you got to be.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you got to be able to
That's not
defend
true.
yourself.
Basketball games, it's
Why you put your fist
No,
up?
because like if you root for the wrong team or
I don't know. I made
shit
friends
for the wrong
at
player, but
every
like
game.
I was in a section. I don't know, like if it was like a family section that they all come to and they had season tickets, but clearly I was the oddball. So they were looking at me, and what I think like this white lady was like, "Excuse me, I don't mean to be nosy." She's like, "Is this your first game?" I'm like, "Yeah, it actually is."
wow.
And she was like, oh, "Okay, enjoy yourself. If you need anything, let me know." I'm like,
How
Yeah,
old is
actually,
she,
I need to.
like 50,
I need a
50
drink,
plus.
bitch.
Yeah, I mean, she had a daughter next to her, so like,
okay.
like that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it was like a family section where they all had season tickets with like family and friends. So
Well,
I'm-
the L thing
what
about
they usually
baseball
do.
this year is they got a pitch clock. So like the game, I'm sure. How long was the game that you were at? Like what? 4 hours?
I don't know. I got drunk. So
Forever.
I tapped out.
That's what happens.
I tapped out
That's
after
what
the third inning.
happens.
With the pitch clock, games are like at an average 2.5 hours now, if
Yes,
that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a nice afternoon outing
It
for
was
me.
a summer day,
Like-
1 o'clock in the afternoon. It wasn't too hot. I was
Yeah.
under, so it wasn't like the sun wasn't beaming. So,
There's no sporting event that's worth your entire day, and I've been to like a million WrestleManias.
right.
Right? like WrestleMania, the best thing they ever did was split it into 2 days because it started to feel like baseball. We were just like, yo, how long is this game?
But
yo?
I mean, I had to prepare myself. I'm like, yo, like, all right, if you're gonna go,
Yeah.
you have to understand this is an all day thing.
Yeah, you gotta
I've
love
definitely been at a game for like 5 to 6 hours before.
Easily your whole day. At least like when
Because they
when
were tied, and you know how it goes.
Yeah, it
I'm
goes
like,
into
how
extra
many innings?
and it's just like
I'm leaving. I'll watch this shit at home.
I mean, it depends. If it's a game of consequence, I'll stick around for the extra innings. But if it's like,
if it's just
Yeah,
like
if it's a
leisure.
regular game.
my fuck, like a playoff extra inning game is
It's worth staying in.
But at the
Super
time,
funny.
I lived by the stadium, so I'm like, I will hear the results.
word. I'll just stick my ear out.
If they
Just like,
win,
hold
I
on.
will
Like,
know.
oh, the cheering? All right. The Yankees
right,
won.
cool,
or just yell
cool.
out the window like,
Go
who won the game?
Yankees.
All right, cool, thanks.
God damn. Man, what a week, bro, for New York sports. Rogers, quarterback, Knicks fans been losing their shit.
I saw that video that popped up
I'm
on
going
Bleacher
to-
Report
Bro,
that they had in the middle of 7th Avenue.
it's
Where
like
they was playing basketball.
No, he caught
Yeah.
he caught a video like after the game,
right
And,
outside 7th Avenue.
Bro,
right
they
in
shut
front of the
down
studio.
7th Avenue.
Yeah,
I
Sunday
mean, wait,
morning.
first of all, duh.
Yeah.
But second
Nah,
of
but
all,
I ain't never seen no shit like that.
Yeah.
no, I feel like every time
Yeah.
the Knicks is doing slightly good, they shut down 7th Avenue.
No,
It's
it's a
insane, bro.
commotion. But from what he posted, I ain't never seen no shit like that.
Listen, Knicks fans.
You don't remember when the whole Bing Bong shit happened?
They
And
didn't shut down
shit-
7th Avenue.
Yes,
they
they
would, no, they did not
That's
like
the thing.
that.
So I remember that game. That first first side talk video that went viral. That was the first game of last season. That's when it went to double overtime, and like Julius balled out. Like Tatum had like 40, Jaylen Brown had like 45. It was a nuts game.
That's
so
when y'all
like,
went like 5-0, and then just
yeah, but that was the first game of the season.
Oh, okay.
So like you're playing the Celtics. They just like went to the Eastern Conference Finals. You take them to double overtime. They win. Fucking fans flood the
like,
street, and then that's where all those memes came from. Where they're like, "Yo, KD, don't you regret not coming to the Knicks?" Like all that shit. Fucking like the fat dude doing all this shit. Like. All off of one game, and that was like the first game of the regular season. The first time I really started to see like the Knicks hooliganism, right? Like, 'cause I've had like,
they're gang members.
bro,
They are gang members.
They're rich.
That is a gang.
They're rich gang
it
members.
is real
Rich gang
in the
members.
fucking field when it
Knicks
comes to Knicks
fans
fans,
are
yo.
gang members. Do not get it twisted.
Let me tell you something. So the first time I really started to see it,
Baby.
shout out.
Them niggas are annoying as fuck though.
Shout out Monica McNutt. When we was doing MSGPM right after the pandemic. This is a show that started in the pandemic.
Yeah.
So like we didn't really get a good understanding of how fucking crazy Knicks fans
Yeah, you didn't
were.
get the experience because you're at home,
So-
watching the games. But now you're in there in the
Right.
trenches.
So-
now you're seeing.
So if you remember, those first games back after the pandemic were Knicks playoff games, right? Like Knicks fans are already insane. Now imagine you couldn't go to a game all year fucking long because you're locked down in the house.
And the first game you return to.
Remember, Madison Square Garden was like one of the first places in the world to have like mass, attendance again. Like they were the first people like, all right, fuck, we're just gonna fill it out. And,
New York don't give a fuck.
if COVID hits us, then
We got it.
remember they tried this shit when they were like, yo, we're gonna put all the people vaccinated on one side, but
Side
all
that
the
way.
people on the other
Side
side.
that way.
Okay, how'd that work for you?
How'd
That
that
worked
work
for like 2 games or whatever. They're like, nah, fuck it, everybody. So the first game was, like the Trae Young game where he goes fucking nuts and like breaks the heart of New York City. So
It was cold. in that
every
arena.
single video that I put up, that like 3 or 4 of those videos went viral this week, but every single video I put up, it doesn't matter. You're gonna hear a fuck Trae Young chant in one of those places, even though Trae Young is not even in this series. He's not even like
They about to lose their series.
they wouldn't even meet each other unless it's the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, they're not
They
there.
hate him.
They have been on Trae Young's head for 3 years and
Straight.
counting. Knicks fans, though, I'm telling you, man, I've never been to the UK and seen like how like football fans and like soccer fans like take how seriously their game is. I've never been to like the black hole where like Raiders fans are.
That's what they
and
call it?
The black hole, yeah.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
like
no.
all that stuff. Red Sox fans are a little nuts, but like Knicks
little.
fans,
No, Philly fans,
heard
Eagles
Eagles
fans are pretty insane.
No, I heard Eagles fans.
They have a jail.
Philly sports fans in general.
No, but to
go
the
hard.
point where,
They have
to
a
the point
jail. They have
where,
a jail in the stadium.
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know
They
that.
booed Santa Claus
But
on Christmas.
no, to the point where some people won't let like friends and family come to games.
Yeah.
If it's at a Philly.
Yeah.
Bro, because
They're like,
they're
no.
unruly.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't wear
You
X,
see,
Y, Z over there.
you see an opposite color, bro. Like that's like a bull seeing red.
They're also game. See?
Yeah, so you-
Sacramento with the cowbell.
Right, exactly. Sacramento got their cowbells. They do the light the beam and shit, but there is nothing in sports like happy Knicks fans, yo. Like I've never seen the amount of like,
even when y'all are happy, y'all still complain.
it's not complaining. It's just
You could have did better. You need to step up.
When
Why
is-
would you take like nigga? Y'all up 3-1. Shut
it's
up.
enthusiasm.
Where are we
bro.
watching the next game?
I mean,
Next game
away.
is he's go- oh, it's in
well,
Cleveland.
you came to the MSG viewing
Yeah.
for Game 2, the only game that they lost. I think-
Oh, so actually, yeah, you're bad luck.
I was
Oh,
about to say,
yeah.
maybe I was
You're
bad.
excommunicated
First of
from
all,
that event.
no.
No, so I think they probably have the viewing party there, but we'll find a place to watch this.
Now
game
we gotta
in
turn up this
Cleveland.
time.
But,
We could stop by there though.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely pulling up. But
Wait, how was it? How was it?
it was cool. It was smooth. It was like in this. It was in like MSG's like loungy like bar, like ritzy bar that's like in the building, like where people work at, whatever. But,
In Penn.
yeah, in Two Penn. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, because
Yeah, exactly. It's around the block from
Okay,
there.
okay.
Across the street from a
It's
Chick-fil-A.
not. It's not bad. I mean, I had a.
It was-
we
it was-
just- we
oh,
got
no,
to
yeah,
leave.
I know where it is.
Go.
It was a vibe.
Invite
It was
me again.
nice.
I want to go.
We can all go. We can make it a trip. But nah, man, like the city, New York City, man, is just a happier fucking place when the New York Knicks are good and relevant.
I was having this conversation with this random Knicks fan, right? And I think we were watching the game, and I'm like, he's like, "Yo, you a Knicks fan?" I'm like, "Man, fuck the Knicks." He was like, "Yo, what?"
You didn't have to say all
I
that.
said, "Fuck the Knicks."
Because you didn't have to say all that, bro.
But we were
That's
talking about
unnecessary.
we were
You could
talking
have just
about.
said no.
But beforehand, I'm sorry, we were talking about basketball. So he
Okay.
knew that I knew the game.
Okay.
So he knew, he was like, okay, like he's well aware of like what the fuck this is going on. But he was
Okay.
like, so what you think about the Knicks? I'm like, fuck the Knicks. He's like, damn, why you feel like that? I'm like, they gave my father 10 to 15 years of hard.
Lo, you
heartache.
tell the story a lot.
I know I do.
We gotta.
No, I'm not letting it go.
What would it take? Listen.
Traumatic.
If your dad
Yeah.
was caused all this stress as you was a youngin,
Yeah.
don't you think right now would be one of the happiest times of his life?
He doesn't
New York
watch them
Knicks.
anymore.
He doesn't watch them
He
anymore.
doesn't.
Shout out.
What's-
Just like
My
you.
father don't
Now,
spin- my
now
father
you know
don't-
where Lo came from.
My father don't spin the blocks.
You got your phone on you right now?
Yeah.
Can you FaceTime your dad
I'm not
right
calling.
now?
No, I'm not calling
You
my dad.
FaceTime your
I'm
dad
not
real
calling
quick?
my
Call
dad.
your dad.
No, I'm not calling my dad.
Come
'Cause
on.
Let me
One,
talk
because
him,
first
let me
off,
talk him
like,
back into being a Knicks
No,
fan.
he
you know?
don't-
Let me-
he-
Just go ahead
let me
and see
bring
what
him
he
back.
says. Because
First
I want to
off,
hear
that
where
nigga's
Lo got
done.
his stubbornness from. Please call Papa Lo. I want to hear this shit.
For him to still not watch a game after all this,
Yes,
he's got to know what's going
he's
on.
had low key, bro.
knows
Like,
what's going on.
No, he knows what's going on. But
Any
he's
long-suffering
not-
Knicks fan, even the folks who have said, fuck these guys, I'm not going back,
Right.
they have to at least be
He
aware
like,
that there's a chance.
My
this
dad
year.
watches sports. He knows. We talk every night.
So you're
you know,
not gonna
so
call
he
him?
knows. I'm not calling him because one, he has high blood pressure. So I'm not doing. I'm leaving this nigga alone.
Shocker. Wonder where you got that from. You are your father, bro.
Yes, I am my father. Yes.
I just want to hear his dad's version of like, why is fuck the
No,
Knicks?
because like my father's really like, quiet and just like, just to himself. So when he feels passionate about something, you know it, whether it's positive or negative. So, I mean, I'm the opposite in regards to like,
Lo, you are describing yourself.
no, I'm not fucking quiet. I'm not to myself.
You're not like the most loudest person until you feel passionate.
Yeah, your name is low key, bro.
You don't speak until you
Like,
feel passionate about
when
something.
you're in a comfortable situation, like yes, you're a social butterfly,
Right,
but
right.
most times you chilling, smoking your hookah,
Until someone
eating
speaks
your
to you,
burrito,
and then they
until
piss you
someone-
off. And then here we
There
go.
was nowhere to sit, so I sat over there. No, but
It's
like,
just funny because the last vision I had before you was literally Lo sitting in a corner
By himself.
Like, I'm not lonely.
I'm very social.
no, but I can go. Yeah,
Eating shit like he stole it. You're like, you paid for it, bro.
I mean, I stole the hot sauce bottle, so
Yo, time out. I must have stolen at least 9 Chipotle
Bro,
hot sauce bottles throughout the years, yo.
that's all I do. Yo,
I used to go to Chipotle in Florida so much, they started locking them.
Wait,
swear.
what? They put like a padlock on the
No,
fucking.
no, me and my ex used to go to this one Chipotle and we used to steal the Chipotle box.
Yeah.
And then next time we came, it was a little chain.
They got like a little beeping.
Bro,
like,
you could
Like,
just go to the grocery store and get the same.
It's not,
It's not the
that-
same,
it's not
bro.
the same. Like, you
It's
already
not
got
the
the
same.
bowl right here. It's nice and warm. Put it in the bag. We go
Nah,
home.
you're right. You're right.
Bro, when I worked downtown at when I was working at the Source magazine, bro, and like I was like living off Chipotle in that year, those years, bro. I must have stolen at least, I'm not even just joking to you, at least 12 bottles of that
Snatch.
smoky.
Man, the smoky Chipotle. Yo,
Snatchy,
that burgundy one.
Snatchy snatch. No,
I'll
but
spin
yeah.
the block on that one.
To go back to
Sprinkle out on the burrito bowl, bro. Oh,
Nah, yeah,
need
but
that.
To go back to the original point, yeah, I was by myself, and then the nigga started talking to me, and I got like hella passionate for like 25 minutes. You would have thought like if you walked in there, you would have thought we like best friends.
I wanna make a comment before we move on to the next topic. You said something about
Jake,
like how when you go to Europe, how people are about football and soccer.
For sure.
yeah,
Okay.
Fanatics.
Okay.
Phoenix.
That's the only thing they know because I went to
Okay,
one
right,
of the.
we want international listeners.
No.
Let's not
No,
push
I'm
them
gonna
off.
tell you. They're gonna laugh because they know it's true.
Okay.
I went to an NFL game in London. When I tell you they had just any jersey they had,
I saw that.
that shit made no sense.
So they just had random jerseys.
They just had random jerseys. Like they had different NFL teams
they
on.
were-
They had baseball jerseys on.
Wait,
Anything
wait, so
American.
who was
they
playing?
had
Who was
on.
playing?
It was the Jaguars, right?
It was the Jaguars and someone else. I forgot. I could look it up.
So you saw like Giants fans,
Broncos.
and Eagles.
It was Jaguars and Broncos.
So it's like Giants jersey, Raiders
They had
jersey, Rams jersey.
everything. They had Yankee jerseys, anything American, they had on. And I was like, I should make this a TikTok because they don't give a fuck.
No, because they don't get NFL football. Like they probably
They had
all those
Seahawks.
people-
They didn't care.
They hate the fact that we call it football.
All the people
Yeah,
that
they
went
are.
to
They hate
that
that shit.
game are either Americans that are in the UK and that
No,
are just
no
happy
way.
to see football,
Because they would have had the right team on.
or they're UK bred and they've been watching NFL football largely
And wanted
just
to
on
experience
TV
it.
on like 9 hours ahead. So
Yeah.
like it's certain. You just got to be an NFL fanatic.
If I go to a
NFL
soccer game, I'm gonna wear cleats.
what?
Good luck walking to the bar, bro. Good fucking. Extreme sport right there.
Man,
Look at this idiot.
Trying to get to the bar on a wet ground
some
with
Nike
cleats on.
cleats.
Like his name is low key. Huh.
Okay.
Click clack, click clack. Sounded like Savion Glover.
But no, that shit was honestly one of the funniest moments of my life. Because I'm looking around and I'm like,
that's
where we
Savion
y'all think
Glover
I'm going?
I didn't mean to cut you off, but that Savion Glover comment was good.
Challenge.
That was good. I like that one.
Oh, for Rosy.
That was-
No,
yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. It was just so surreal to be there and be like, y'all don't give a fuck.
No, they're just like gold team. Yes, sport.
And then you know that
This
they're
was
not.
touchdowns and people
Another
get
thing,
Right.
you know they're not big on like the glizzies, like
Hot dogs.
hot dogs. Yeah, but they're not like that's not like a traditional thing for them. So like even just the
food is just
condiments is
terrible,
just like.
period.
UK food.
The condiments was just like just ketchup and mustard. I was like, yeah, I ain't got nothing else. Like, all right, cool.
Wait, so what did you eat?
I didn't eat anything there.
Well, all right, what did they have to offer? Like buffalo wings,
They had-
chicken
no.
fingers, French fries.
No, they had
beans and
French
toast?
fries. They had
beans and bread.
they had the glizzies.
So they had the regular shit.
Yeah, but it was
What did you
bad.
see people eating?
It was like the great value of everything.
So it was like a restaurant?
So here's the
No,
thing,
great
right?
value, like the generic version.
I'm not gonna hold you. This is kind of terrible, but kind of American as hell, right? Like our country is like the only country that puts like mad growth or like hormones into our food and stuff. Of
course.
So the first thing I noticed when I went to the UK and like saw like just the regular shit like McDonald's. Like y'all went to a UK
No, the
McDonald's,
McDonald's
bro.
is fire out there.
It's natural.
Fire,
Fucking
right?
fire.
Like they use actual, like you could tell, I'm
What?
like, wow, they actually peeled a potato to make these fries.
They have lines
Yo,
around the block.
They actually cooked a burger. Like it's not, they didn't nuke this shit and just throw it on bread. Like, and when you notice it, like it just looks like
It feels like a burger you cooked.
if you see a real burger
You
and
know.
you see a McDonald's burger, even
You
though
know the difference out there.
I still love me some McDonald's, the difference is there in different countries.
Stevie
Like you
Wonder
just
can see
know.
that shit.
Yeah, so one thing I did notice when I was out there.
My
So
fault.
Stevie Wonder can see this. One thing I noticed when I was out there was
I
like
understood.
something like a glizzy was probably like
Can we stop calling it that?
probably
please?
looks like mad small, like, and not for nothing. As an American, when I want my glizzy,
Pause. You want it long?
I need a plump, bro.
Yo, you know what's funny, Kaz?
They don't make a plump overseas,
I was gonna see
bro.
how you were gonna phrase this.
I was with you.
Cause like this is gonna go down a very dark road if you didn't
with the
phrase
hey,
it.
yo.
My nigga said, I mean,
Yo,
plump is not bad.
There's nothing more unsatisfying than an unplumped glizzy, bro. Like this shit's
No,
gotta
no,
feel,
not unplump. Like it gotta be burnt.
it's
So,
burnt,
guys,
but it's
The
gotta
barbecue burnt glizzies.
I want to make a compilation, right?
okay.
Compilation of glizzies?
No,
My fault.
of my male friends, my straight male friends eating glizzies or bananas.
No, this nigga tried to do that
Because
shit
I
to
want
me.
to see.
dude.
I want to see how
What was
different
that? Was that the Rangers
every
game?
straight man eats
No,
it.
hold on. He did this shit to me. Me, him, and
No, I
Rory
saw it.
went to a Giants game.
I saw,
Yes,
but
the
I
Giants
want
game.
more than just. I want to watch because every man
Bro,
tries to eat it differently.
I was so out.
like, there's a different way every man eats it, so that it's less
really no.
embarrassing.
I don't know
Like,
how
it's just-
how else. How,
Bro, there's something about I don't know why, yo. Like
Something
I
about
gotta,
holding it like
I
this.
gotta eat
Depends
the
on how
other
big it
hand,
is.
bro. Like
It has to be like this?
Like that's what makes it so wild, bro. Like I gotta like.
I mean, it's better than this.
bro, if it's
there's no way I can guess
No,
no
it's-
this. Doesn't
no,
look
it's
crazy.
hold on, Rosie, hold on. Hold on.
You got
hold
underhand
on.
it, yo.
No man is eating a glizzy.
No, because
Like this.
because the condiments are on the top.
Like-
but you could also eat it like this.
Nah, no, nobody's doing this. Nobody's eating the glizzy.
So y'all eat it like this?
Nobody's an overhand glizzy gobbler, bro.
Okay, all right,
Or
hold,
like
hold on,
this.
hold
You're
on,
an
hold
overhand
on.
glizzier?
No.
Wait.
I'm a girl. It doesn't matter how I eat
Doesn't
it.
matter.
Wait. All right. If you're eating a glizzy from
The
Yankee
back?
Stadium,
No, I'm just,
if you're eating a glizzy from like Yankee Stadium, Giant Stadium, like at a sporting event, they're kind of large in
plump.
size,
They're
right?
plump.
Now, if you're eating a glizzy at a barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
I eat them shits like because they're small, so it's
but when you
easier
eat
to
it at a
hold.
sporting event, they serve it to you in that little tray that's perfectly fit. That's why you lift it.
Yeah,
You gotta tilt your head.
yeah. But like this, my nigga, no one's eating.
No, because the ketchup and stuff is on top. I get it.
So like when I
Tilt it, everything's
pause,
gonna
like,
fall off.
I catch it. I catch it. For the so because of the condiments, right? Like you gotta catch it from under.
Stop saying catch it.
So let's
Stop saying catch
gotta
it while you
catch it
talk
how?
about you gotta catch it how?
Let's just
No.
no.
Don't use the mic. Yo, don't just use the imaginary glizzy. Don't use the mic.
Kaz, we gotta do something similar to that. So how do you?
Yo, you fucking like how do they? Nah.
If you don't have the ballpark, if you don't have the ballpark shirt,
Whoa!
right?
If you don't have the ballpark.
You have to like underhand it to like at least cover
Bro,
for whatever
what are you
leftover
holding?
condiments is happening.
Are you holding the balls?
No, you're not holding the balls,
That's
bro.
what
But
it-
like
That's what it looked like.
everything is gonna naturally fall. So like, if
nah,
you
this
wanna
conversation
avoid,
is
I'm wearing nothing but light spring colors today. So you gotta do your best to like get. You gotta.
Well,
get
maybe
it
you
in.
shouldn't order a glizzy and you walking around looking like spring.
It's delicious.
In all
That's
fairness,
the one thing, man. Everyone worries about how to eat a glizzy, but the shit is fucking delicious. It's good.
No one said it wasn't. No one said it wasn't
God
good.
damn it, I'm tired. I'm tired of having to watch myself eat a glizzy.
What about
And watch
bananas?
it
Wait,
fall
hold on.
down.
How do you say that when you recorded me at the Giants game eating the hot dog, laughing in my face?
I was at a rough time of my life, Lo. I had to laugh at you.
What the fuck that got to do with me eating the hot dog?
I was still very insecure about Glizzy Goblin and
how do you eat a banana?
a banana.
All right, come on, let's not go like that's you eat it.
No, because the other day, when me and Kaz were talking about this, he was like,
You
"There
can-
might be a motherfucker with a fork and a knife."
It's not. It ain't that serious. Right?
Listen, it's very
But
serious to
no, it's
certain
not,
men.
bro. It's not
Honestly
that
though,
serious.
that's the funniest thing about like glizzies and like bananas and shit is that it is not serious at all.
But-
and I'm like the least homophobic person there is. But there's just something just inherently funny about just like people just eating certain foods or like waiting a
Bro,
certain way to eat.
it's just like I'm gonna eat my hot dog the way I want to eat my hot dog. Like, just get off my back, bro. Put the camera down. Let me eat my hot dog and get the fuck out of my face. You
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm like, chug,
know what I'm saying? Are they here?
chug your drink.
Oh great. Okay. Oh, we got a guest today. Oh my god.
Let's wait for him to get
We're gonna get
over.
here, but you know, we'll get inside a little bit. But yeah, man.
I'm sorry about the. I just think it's
2023.
funny. I just think it's funny because there's so many. I'm not saying you guys. You don't give a fuck, and you definitely don't give a fuck.
No.
But there's certain men that I have to hold back my laughter because I've seen certain men like, try to adjust it to make
Yeah.
it look straight. I'm like, eat your food, bro.
Yo, it's the summertime, people. It's April. It's
They
about
might
to
have
be May.
they might really want the glizzy. They gonna get the burger just because it's easier to
just
eat.
because they don't
If
wanna-
if I see a burnt tray of glizzies,
Bro.
I'm packing 3.
Bro.
I'm packing
To
3.
go though,
Judge
you see,
me, nigga.
you see to
No,
go.
not to go.
No.
Nigga, I'm putting 3 on my plate.
Even the little ones.
The pigs in the blanket.
Oh no, those are fire. I'm talking about
Those
the,
are them. Those are them. Oh, remember we was at that event and we was hounding that the
pigs
waitress.
in the blanket.
Oh, the
Pigs in the blanket.
Was it the NFT week joint?
Yeah,
yeah.
And we talked. It was like,
I
yo,
was like, Lo.
he was like, yo, bring that shit back right here.
I said, Lo.
We're not going
Did you
nowhere.
try this? Lo was like, nah. Where is it? He tried one. He was like, yo, that shit fire.
Bro,
I was like, let's stay right here.
yo, stay right here. We'll be right here. Bring that tray over here first. The mini glizzies had us in the fucking chokehold last
Glizzies.
that event.
Yo, there's nothing
Many
like
glizzies comedy. Free food?
The summertime is coming, yo.
Barbecues are back.
Barbecues is about to be back. People about to be busting out the grill, bro.
I need that mini. I need the
Busting out the
glizzies. I need the mini
Listen, man.
glizzies. I need the potato salad. I need all that.
My brothers listening to this right now. It's 2023, yo. Eat your glizzies, man. Don't let nobody look at you crazy.
You
or
want to eat
feel
a hot
like-
dog? Eat a hot dog.
If you want
Nah,
to
but
eat
hold on. But see,
eat the shit, bro.
If you
But
want a
see,
glizzy,
hold
eat
on,
the
hold
glizzy.
on. No, hold on. This
Eat
is
the
what.
fucking glizzy,
But
bro.
see,
not gonna eat a glizzy at the barbecue.
Bro,
That's
hold
what
on,
you're
Rosy.
saying.
You part of the fucking problem.
What? Listen,
You
I've
part of the
grown.
fucking
I
problem.
have grown. I've grown.
Are we part of the problem, or
No.
the man that just walked by and made
No.
the face part of the
No,
problem?
no, no.
We're gonna get his insight on this in a little
Because
bit.
he made me
All right.
feel uncomfortable.
I did, and I apologize.
So you
for
were
that.
part of the fucking
I
problem.
was. You know what? It was funny to me. Okay.
All right.
It was
all right.
funny to you see.
But so I don't want to hear that positive brothers in 2023.
I'm not gonna hold you.
Let's eat our glizzy.
I'm not gonna hold you, Lo.
You part of the problem.
You hit the glizzy head on though.
I
Like
sure
you
did.
can't. Like
Pause.
There's several ways to eat the glizzy. The way you did
You're
it
not
was
gonna
so
tell me. You're not
hilarious.
gonna tell me how
I
to
don't
eat.
remember the video. I just remember him recording it and being like,
Because he went head first.
Yeah, this
He went
is-
head first.
hey,
You
yo.
gotta
Well, you know, yeah, he cups.
you gotta cover it and
He
catch the
cups.
condom.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
crazy.
yo.
See, you see what I'm saying?
I'll fuck with you.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
not.
you're
That's
not.
because I've seen you eat a hot
No,
dog like
you're
that
not.
too. I've seen you eat a hot dog like that.
No,
So you're
you're
not
not.
joking.
This
God,
is
They
insane.
try to demonstrate with the mic. I'm like, bro, let the
I
mic
just
go.
want everybody that's about to get into their
Trying to rock
barbecues.
the old mic. Like, what you doing?
Memorial Day weekend is gonna be here soon and shit. Like, I want everybody.
Nah,
to
nigga,
just,
don't try to be positive now.
What?
Nah, don't
What's
try to be
wrong?
positive now. Yo, brothers, coming from a man that we good. We ain't fucking with that over there. We good.
Yo, Rosy,
Come on, man.
What up, man?
introduce our guest, yo. God damn it.
I can't do it after the glizzy talk.
Come have a
I mean,
seat.
I feel like we gotta. It's a universal subject. I mean, we can talk about.
All
come
right,
have a
all
seat.
right. We
Come
got a
have a
very
seat,
special
brother.
guest in the building. I don't know how you gonna slide in.
You know, slide right
through.
in there, brother. What's going on, Vic? It's good to see you, brother. Oh man, what's going on, man?
Good.
Good to see you as always. Vic Mensa in the building, people. Welcome to See Less.
That was a crazy thing to enter the room.
Why did you look like that though? See, he's the reason. He's the type of a man why I brought
Without
this up.
context, anybody could be like, what the fuck is
Crazy
going
thing to
on?
It's
walk
kinda
into
crazy.
the room.
Without context,
Eat your glizzies, brother. Come on, man.
Pull the weight, fellas.
I told you, without context, that shit sounds wild,
Listen,
bro.
yo,
We're not
I'm just
doing that.
saying.
So Vic, this
It's funny.
summer, I got a question.
Oh my
This
God.
summer at
is
the
the-
cookouts, right? You see the glizzies. You see the burger.
You be having a moral dilemma. You be like, man.
Moral to life.
People like it's good, boy.
Because everybody likes
You just
glizzies.
gotta be low key. I mean, if you gonna eat the glizzy, you can't just be on Front Street.
Hey,
That's what you
yo.
did.
No,
Then you real-
all right, hold on.
Then
no,
you
don't
real
do,
reckless.
don't
You real
see, like,
reckless.
don't do that because
you
you
gotta kind of. You feel me? Like,
That's what I was. That's what you was doing.
Hold on, man. Before you got in here, he was like, yo, brothers, let's eat the glizzies. We good, man.
Yo.
Eat the glizzies. Now you gonna hide some shit because he just said it.
Oh no! I said, if you're gonna eat the glizzy, there's a proper way to eat. You attacked it so head first. I had to pull out the phone that when that happened. Like you went.
Bro, I like hot dogs, bro. Like, what the fuck?
I'm saying in 2023, we need to squash all that, yo.
I don't need to squash shit.
Eat your
The reason that-
glizzy.
question is, do you need that photograph?
That's
Like,
the thing.
do you
Why-
need
yeah,
that photograph?
see, yeah, why do we need
Glizzy
that?
all halfway.
Yeah,
like,
The
no,
reason,
I need
hold
that.
on. The reason
You
for
don't need
context,
that.
the reason this started was because I told him I wanted to make a compilation of all my straight male friends eating, like bananas and glizzies. Because
Yeah,
there's
bananas. I was gonna say too. You gotta watch out.
But this is what I'm saying.
You
Like,
gotta be cool with
everyone
that.
eats it. Like every man tries to eat it so differently to make it look manly. I'm like, eat your
like-
food, bro. And I'm watching them like, God.
This is why, this conversation right now is why niggas feel insecure and uncomfortable
I
at the
mean,
barbecue.
eating food.
eating
That's what I'm
food.
trying to tell people. I'm like, yo, it's
That's
2023, bro. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your glizzies.
Whatever.
Don't shake the banana like it's sunflower seeds. Just eat eat the banana, bro. Like, don't break
Don't have a fork and a knife.
I'm cutting the banana up. I ain't gonna lie.
Like, you cutting a banana with a knife and fork. Just eat the shit, bro.
Just to make it look bad.
That's not how God intended it, bro. Just eat it.
Nah, man, we got our guests in the building. Fuck all the glizzy banana rhetoric. First off, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm blessed, bro. Appreciate y'all for having me.
What you been up to, man?
Appreciate you coming.
Man,
Man, I've been hustling, man. Just running around. I've been in New York 2 days.
Okay.
yeah, I know Rosy ran into you at the Divas event a few nights ago.
Yeah, she came to
Phone
harass
girl.
me about rats in Chicago. It was a great time, man. It was a great time.
Rats in Chicago.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, for context. Remember last time he
context.
came on the show,
Okay.
and I told him that Chicago people hate me when I say they have more rats than us.
I remember this convo, yes.
Remember, like 3 days later, Shade Room posted that Chicago was the #1 city with the most rats.
But, like, a few weeks later, that
Because
pizza rat
everything's
dropped,
true
like, right after that.
that gets posted on social media. It gotta be facts if it's posted on Instagram.
If it's posted on the Shade Room, it gotta be facts.
But I just thought it was funny that we were just talking about it, and then they were like, "Boom, Chicago #1." I was like, I knew it.
But where do they get? Where do they get that number from? Where do they get that
I don't
information?
know who's counting
exactly.
rats. I
So
don't
like,
know.
we not listening to that.
Nasty nigga, G.
I'm about to say, like,
A nigga who dedicated himself
To count
counting
rats.
rats in different cities. Like,
that is respect right
I don't
there,
trust
bro.
that nigga.
Fuck out of here, man.
Goddamn.
That's crazy.
Vic, bro, you drop Strawberry Louis Vuitton, that music video. You're skydiving in the Virgil Abloh suit, which was insane. But I just want to talk about the skydiving bit first because I'm always just super interested in anybody who does extreme sports, right? Whether it's skateboarding, snowboarding, bungee jumping, skydiving, all that type of stuff. And not only for the video, you've become more of an enthusiast for extreme sports now. So talk to me about, talk to me about the preparation for that video. There's one thing to do it just as leisurely to like, have fun, whatever. And there's a whole nother thing to like, bro, you're performing tens of thousands of feet, millions of feet in the air.
Yeah,
I mean,
you gotta
miles in
go
the
through
air.
like an intense preparation process, like classes. I skydived mad times before, but to do it without the nigga on your back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to do like, it was about 20 hours of training. But for the first time I ever skydived, I was like, I got to do this without this nigga's nuts on my back. Like, this shit is dope, but it's going to be way iller without this nigga's nuts on my back. But then, honestly, when you falling through the sky, it doesn't matter as much because it's so extreme.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're not even thinking
You
about
don't
it.
even think
Man,
about him no
I'm
more.
a
You like,
woman.
nigga, I'm falling out the sky.
I'm a
But
woman
then you
when I
look
was
back at the
skydiving.
photographs.
I didn't
and
feel that.
But just wait. It's
You
just
don't
like,
feel it, but the nigga's there. He's straddling your back. Like he is, whether or not you feel
bro,
it.
to
You know
open
what I
up
mean?
a
Like,
conversation, hold on. To open up a conversation about skydiving, and the first thing the nigga goes to is like, this shit is crazy. Get this nigga off my back.
I'm not gonna hold you though, bro. I kind of think about the same every time I see it. I'm just like, yo,
how many situations do you just like
Got a
you
nigga
know?
on your back.
you just gotta blindly trust this man that's strapped to your backside and stuff.
What was like? What
Probably
was,
the most awkward part is probably landing.
yeah.
Landon? No, man, because like I don't know, you kind of like slide into the landing. It's not even that awkward. It's just like for the photos, you know what I mean? For the photos, that's when I was like, if I'm gonna do this in a video, like
I gotta do it,
I gotta
like,
do it. I gotta be ill
right
with
way,
it. You know what I mean? So I went and I did like the classes and the preparation. I just like stacked it up in a couple
What's the preparation
days.
like? Do you just skydive a bunch of times, or
You
do
just
like?
dive a bunch of times. You got to go through a bunch of safety training and like practicing pulling the parachute at the right time and a certain altitude and like counting the seconds,
Okay.
and checking the different like levers that you
Okay,
have on your.
Have you ever had a
waistband.
moment where it's like, oh shit, I fucked up, or oh shit, I didn't count
Pretty
the time?
simple. It's honestly pretty simple, but I think a lot of people don't perform well under pressure. So you have to make it like subconscious or second nature so that, they can feel confident about letting you jump out the plane.
Your first time when you hit the ground, what was your initial thought like when you landed? Like how did you feel? Like were you
By himself,
relieved?
right?
Yeah, by yourself.
I was like, I won't do that again.
Was it one take for the video? Or do you take multiple takes?
No, it was like 6 to 10 takes.
So how long does that take?
quite a
Just
few.
the getting down, the getting back in the air? Like how long is that
The
whole
actual
process?
jump is not that long, but like the plane,
Going up.
loading up, going up, circling around a bit. That's what takes.
I'm just
about an hour.
I respect it so much because I'm just happy motherfuckers put effort into their music videos again, right? Like just being able,
You're making a comeback.
like I see that and I think of more money, more problems in the indoor skydiving, and you actually
Oh,
doing
they
the
were
real
indoor
shit.
skydiving in that video.
Yeah, it was iFly, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like the high ass propellers and shit.
It's just like pushing them up.
I love music videos, man. I feel like music videos are such an opportunity for us as artists to also be filmmakers. You know what I'm saying? And even if you look at somebody like Donald Glover, who he was doing TV film stuff first.
So you already had that knack.
But still, like,
pushing
it's
it over to his music.
because it brings us into an industry that's not technically what we do. You know what I mean? But it gives us an opportunity. I mean, I know I try to approach making music videos as if I'm creating a film. You know what I mean? And it's just like an opportunity to get fresh in a whole different way.
I think it's so fire that like artists have always been able to kind of like curate in that level. I know Tiana Taylor
She's the creative director for
Lotto
now.
stuff now.
That
and-
Yay Fade video, man, I was just looking at that the other day. 'Cause it's like, that's when I think things get so high level, is when you simplify an idea down to, I call it the prime number. You know what I mean? Like, this is the simplest idea. It's just Tiana Taylor in this gym. You know what I mean? Just like looking ridiculously, unbelievably sexy. And then at the end, Iman is like a wolf and shit. Having sex in the shower. I forgot that part happened. Because I was telling my man, I was like, yo, this is the simplest, illest video. They don't do nothing but be in this gym. Then wolf, man. That's my
AKA
nigga though.
man.
Shout out Shump, man. That's my nigga too,
That's my
man.
nigga though. That nigga, Shump is one of the realest niggas
Oh, by far.
in the game by motherfucking far. Like, this nigga was the midwife to his own baby. Basically, used a pair of Beats headphones cords to like cut off the umbilical cord or something like that.
Crazy, man. And he's just extremely fucking
That's like some real
talented,
nigga shit. Like, you just a real nigga in any era of history. Like, because you would have figured some shit out.
Shit out, yo.
You were some shit
Crafty
right now.
motherfucker,
That's
man.
what I think, though.
Resourceful, if you
To
ask
be
me.
a real nigga, it's like you gotta have to. You also would have been a real nigga if you was living like in the forest, in the caveman. Like,
That's that real nigga over there.
God damn.
Yo, in Cave 7,
How the werewolf makes sense.
that nigga over there is nothing. Stay away from that nigga over there, bro.
that's that real nigga. I don't want to be that kind of real nigga that people just want to stay away from me because I'm too real.
God damn, bro.
That's the wild card.
But that video was just so incredible.
No,
and,
thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
And it was dope to see you tribute Virgil in that way. And obviously he continues to leave an impact.
Yeah, I actually sampled one of his films for the song.
Okay.
So it's like, for this process, it's just me coming into myself, you know what I'm saying? So I produced the beat and, obviously wrote it, directed the video and shit. And I was watching one of the Louis films and I had this ill scene with my man Saul Williams, who's one of the greatest living
Shout out
poets.
Saul Williams,
Shout
legend.
out to Saul Williams. And and I'm like, so I sampled it and I chopped it up. And Virgil passed away before I got to send it to him, though. You know what I'm saying?
Did he know you were working on, or like you
No,
already
because I
conversation?
was waiting until I was like done with it. You know what I mean? I sent it to maybe Benji B while Virgil was alive, because Benji B is the one that scored a lot of those films. And so he's kind of helped me get in touch with the sample and all that shit. But Virgil passed on before I could show it to him. And so I just kind of felt like, this was a way that he was living through my experience. I feel like people, as they leave this earth and transition, it's like they live on in so many ways. Virgil being one of them, like as a consummate multi-hyphenate artist, or just a culture maker. It's like he lives on in so many different forms and facets through all of our experience of the things he created,
Yeah, death is funny, man. Like, the older I get, the more, especially I realize people like that are extremely influential creatives, like a lot of times, like, that's when their legacy starts. Like, when they pass away, that's when you really, truly see the people that were, like, either too cool to really be like, this man inspired me so much, or all the other shit, like, just becomes really just null and fucking
But like,
void.
but see, like,
You know what
I hate when that. I agree with what you're saying, but I
Yeah.
hate when that's when the legacy starts, because it's like
But it's natural, though.
I
mean,
know, it is natural, but like
Yeah.
I would like to change that narrative, because there are dope people doing dope ass shit right in front of our eyes, and we tend to look.
I feel
left
like
and
we've
right
gotten
and not
better
look
though.
at-
I feel
No,
like
I feel-
after
yeah.
like the pandemic and everything, I feel like we've all gotten better about like giving people their flowers.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
And
but
that's-
I
and
just
that's-
want that to continue.
Of course. I mean, obviously, you always want to have people get flowers so they can still smile. I'm sure Virgil got tons of them while he was alive. But I'm just saying now, when he passes, like, you almost take on this mythological form now where, like, people who may not even have met you have been like, yo, like, this person, like, changed my life. I mean, there's people that I've never met in my life that passed on and, like, you know, changed my life for the better. There's so many folks that, you know, when Nipsey passed, like, we all knew Nipsey, and, you know, I've worked with him and, like, had relationships with him in some way, shape, or form. But it's obvious, like, once he passed away, the influence just, like, grew exponentially. So
The figure became so much larger.
it's just human nature, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to Virgil, I mean, like, especially just the way Chicago embraced him and how he embraced the city, and just the way he created, whether it was in videos, the way he DJ'd, fashion, all that type of stuff. How do you feel that you believed you kind of made him proud with this sort of video and this tribute that you had with him in it?
You know, in Virgil's passing, I started to think a lot about how he combined so many elements of culture into often like a singular collection, or
Like a lane, like one
yeah, he
single
would
lane.
bring so many inspirations and influences to live in one space. And a lot of those influences are things that are also very near to me. You know what I mean? Like, Virgil would make skateboarding and graffiti and hip hop and like punk rock and house music and high fashion all work together at one time. And just made me think, because like oftentimes I've been so Gemini in my nature that I'm like,
My wife's
I'm
Gemini.
I'm just doing this right now. You know what I mean?
No, that's
I'm
how
like,
I am too. Like, I'm just
I'm
over
fully
here.
baggy, you know what I mean? Break dancing as some hip hop shit.
Wait, you,
or
are
I'm
you,
like,
are you pointing at me? Like,
no.
like me after that.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm joking.
Or I'm like, you know, I'm rock star strictly. You know what I mean? I didn't wear a pair of sneakers for like 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Virgil just, you know, scanning and analyzing like his creative output, it just made me think about, how do I make these things live together? You know what I mean? So I think with that joint in particular, it was like I was bringing in, you know, my production, which is a thing that a lot of people don't know that I do, with like kind of like some funk, hip hop, kind of soul. Like, I had a skateboard in the sky.
Yeah.
It's all happening at once. You know what I mean?
You know, I want to change subjects really quick, because Chance announced today that the 10th anniversary concert for Acid Rock is next month, I want to say, at the United Center.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, we had Jeff and Eric Rosenthal on the show, who doing this incredible Blog Era podcast with Pharrell on Other Tone, and it just got me. It's just wild that like all these like very seminal projects of like my early and mid 20s are like turning 10, 15 years old and shit. And Acid Rap was one of them. You know, obviously I heard you from Kids These Days way before then, but Acid Rap was a project that I think a lot of people kind of like broke you know what I'm saying, as a solo artist afterwards. Talk to me about what that project sort of meant to you, especially given your relationship with Chance now, you know, with the festival and the kind of, you know, the ups and downs you guys been through, and it all really starting, well, not starting, but like really blowing up with that project.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was just like a creative time, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was dope because music was a dream, it was an ambition, but honestly, it was being made for creativity's sake. At its base level, you know what I mean? It's like we wasn't coming from a place where it's like this had changed our lives or our families' lives, you know what I mean? And it wasn't so commoditized yet. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
I feel like that's something that
There was still an innocence in the making of music. It's not
know what
like
I mean?
we gotta hit this deadline. We got this budget. We
It
got
was
this,
just
this,
something that
and the
me
third.
and my niggas
it
are
just-
doing.
It wasn't commoditized like that yet. You know what I'm saying? It was like, how honest can I be in this verse? You know what I mean? What part of myself can I uncover in this song that is a universal truth? Like, there wasn't a thought of like, how many streams can I get? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
It like wasn't a thing. And so in the creation of that project, it was like just very instinctual and like natural. You know what I'm
It was
saying?
raw.
Yeah, it
Genuine.
was raw. You know what I mean? And he was doing that, and I was coming out of the band, and I was making my internet tape, kind of in the same year, in the same.
Yeah, I think it was. It might have been like 5 or 6 months apart.
Yeah, 6 months apart. You know what I mean? In the same year, in the same time frame, and yeah, it was pure creativity. You know what I mean? And like most of those songs, I remember them as the ways that they initially started. You know what I mean? Like there's a song there called "Everybody's Something," and like
my shit.
we had a show at Reggie's.
Okay.
And I remember, he told me the hook or whatever. And I was like, man, everybody don't love everybody, man. Not everybody got somebody who they love everything, nigga. That's a nigga fucked up outside. That do not apply to, nigga. Or whatever, man. And like,
The chances happiness is happy-go-luckiness sometimes get you like, man, like, fuck up, nigga. Like sometimes I don't know him personally, but
he's
know,
not really, he's not fully like that. I mean,
Right.
he's like funny. He has a lot of fun.
If
you
you,
know what I
if
mean?
you
But
ask
like,
social media or the internet, they think Chance is this. And
they think he's like, but he's not.
He's not,
He's actually just like,
Chance came to Palooza one year, and I was like, Chance is that.
Yeah.
That's the guy I like. That's my nigga.
he's just, I mean, he's a real nigga. You know
Exactly.
What I mean? Not like the kind of real nigga you gotta be afraid of. Not a real nigga that you must be. Not the one that lives over there in Cape Sudden that you gotta be afraid of. But like, folks don't be on some high. They'll be on that shit.
That's
but
how,
like,
that's how they look at
that
him.
was how that one was. And what, favorite song? That one was originally like, we had went out to LA to work with Chuck English. And
Shout out to Cool Kids.
that was another beat off there, maybe not fuck you talking about. That was something else on there. And favorite song, it was like, we was in the studio with Big Duke, who was Chip the Ripper's manager or his producer. And it was just late as hell. And like, he had that beat. And I did a verse on it or something, then I fell asleep. And then by the time I woke up, it was a whole different thing. It was a whole different fucking song. A lot of those songs was just like, they existed in many different forms.
How was it working with Donald Glover back then? You mentioned him earlier on the visual side.
I don't know, actually. I don't know Donald Glover. I've met him like sparingly. But I've never held a conversation with him.
All right, well, sure.
No, I want to ask.
Go ahead, Rosy.
No, I want to ask because we had this conversation with Jeff and Eric. How important is it to you to work with the producer, like hands-on, like of a track? If it's not you producing it yourself.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's very important to me. Usually I like to make things from scratch, like on the spot. Like for many years, I wouldn't do anything over like a beat that was
That's what I was
sent to me or was already made.
Right.
The pandemic really got me back into like making music over beats. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I wasn't with producers. And it was dope too, because it gave me an opportunity to like really sit down with the pen though and just focus on that. You know what I mean? Like, because I would spend a lot of time like
1 in 8. That's how many people have worked at McDonald's and where some have continued their career. Where graduates of McDonald's Career Online High School program are now role models leading the next generation. Where aunties, uncles, cousins, and communities learn skills they can use in every aspect of life.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
1 in 8 have worked at McDonald's, and where you start stays with you.
I just learned Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned doubled. All the cash back from eating at your favorite soup dumpling restaurant doubled. All the cash back from that trip where you sort of learned to snowboard also doubled. And the best part, you don't have to do anything ridiculous to get it. Nope, Discover does it automatically. Seriously though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
Changing the snare or like, oh, let's add some more bass to this, or I think this, and it's like, man,
We doing too much.
make the song.
Yeah.
Nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
We doing too much. Like, let's
somebody else can do that part, gang. You know what I mean? And ultimately, it's good to be able to do everything.
I was about to say,
You know
though,
what I
I
mean?
like that, though, because, and that's the reason why I always have a soft spot for Chicago artists, because, like, Chicago artists, it's like, you're not just rapping. Like, most of the best ones are meticulous with their approach, right? It's not just, I'm making a beat. It's like, I'm going to
That's definitely a thing I got from Ye, too. You know what I mean?
We're
I
scoring it.
I definitely got that from Ye. It was like picking apart every little piece of a track and recreating it a million times.
Yeah,
you
but
know what I
also just putting it out and just tweaking it over time as well. Like, that's something that I think Ye sort of normalized in music, where it's like, this is like the first version of a certain song. We're like, these niggas just putting out just
The same
unfinished
song?
versions or whatever. But like, he would work on it and work on it and work on it until it's like a completely different. I remember, I forgot what was it. The last Donda album, there was like 4 or 5.
Nah, he did that shit with. I think he first did that shit with TLOP.
Life of Pablo.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did that.
Wolves, yeah.
He was like re-adding shit every other week. So and he's very meticulous, and I think that's the beautiful thing with producers who really care about the strings, the snares, this, that, and the third. But it can like he said, like, let somebody else do that shit. I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's good to be able to do the whole thing, you know what I mean? But like, for me, just in that moment, like the pandemic gave me space to like, man, I'm just gonna write raps on raps on raps. Like, I'm literally just gonna work on my lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
So when did you dive
Just
into
me.
production?
I started producing probably 10 years ago, man. Like, I've been producing the whole time. I just didn't often perform on my own production. Like, I was just doing it. You know what I'm saying? But now I've been more really giving my production the same chance I would give another producer's shit.
So
you know what I mean?
so you're focusing more on your shit with you're writing shit, like you're putting your shit over.
Putting it
Your own
together.
Yeah, just working on my beats the way I would work on a beat from No ID. You know what I mean? Like, I would write 5 songs to a No ID beat until I find the right thing. Like, that's kind of how I do things a lot of the time. It's like, it's not necessarily easy for me. You know what I mean? Like, I've had this conversation with Andre 3000. You know what I mean? Like, I think from what he told me, our process sometimes is pretty similar. Like, I like to be in motion. I like to drive while I'm writing my stuff.
Right.
And sometimes that shit can be like an arduous process. You know what I mean? For me to find the right thing. Like, and sometimes, the right song will just come out and it'll be super easy. That's when you make the best bet. But for me, it's like I got to do 100 hours, to catch a couple hours of them like super pure, easy songs.
It's funny you mentioned Andre 3000 because obviously everyone's always waiting for him to put new music out, but anybody who's around him has said like he's, and I'm paraphrasing here. People are like he doesn't think he's keeping up with the young folks. Like he almost is too humble for his own good, right? Where he's
That's
like, all right,
very
you know what I
humble,
mean? Which
'cause
is
that's just like that part doesn't fully make sense to
It
me.
doesn't
but
make it- and it's
I
funny-
do hear what he's saying about hip hop being like a
The young
young man's game. You know what I mean? Like,
It's funny you say it here because, anybody who's a New Yorker who's been here for the past 4 or 5 years, especially in this part of town in Tribeca, like, you can see Andre 3000 walking around, like, playing his flute, like, in, like, random bars or parks and whatnot. And it's like, he's almost like a New York staple, you know what I'm saying? Just being able to do that. And I think creatively, it almost seems like freeing, just being able to just like create music for music's
yeah,
sake.
my girl told me she was working at Starbucks. And
Yeah.
he came in there and she had like stepped out for a second. And when she came back, they said he was just in there playing his flute.
Yeah.
And she was
He
pissed that
does
she
that.
missed him.
It's the wildest shit. Like I've heard at least like, I'm not even bullshitting you, at least 14 different stories of people just like, yeah, Andre 3000 just walked in and started playing his flute. and then it just left, and like that was it.
Yeah, but he could do that.
Yeah, I mean,
But like, I want to go back to the point that you were saying that you don't agree with. Like, he doesn't feel like he can keep up, and you know,
Well, that part's
obviously
not true. You know what I mean? But he may not feel that he can, but it's like we all heard his verse on what was the thing he did with Ye on Donda?
yeah. There was a
Life
couple-
of the party.
Yeah, it was like a scratched version too, right? Did
Maybe
they
she
take it off
has
now?
in the form of a blade of grass. I don't like. Yo,
We-
he was,
like, we know
he was
it's-
bringing his mother's spirit
Yeah.
into a blade of grass or a baby's laugh. Like
Yeah.
that's just a depth of poeticism that like that's eternal. That's not just a young man's sport. So he may not feel that way, but we as human beings, we often feel things that don't particularly represent the reality. And what we feel though is our reality. So to him, that may be, you know, his reality. But I mean, to me, objectively, like whenever Andre 3000 raps, he spazzes on 99.9%
Yeah, like, there's
of people to ever do it.
There's a sector of the world that lives in those areas of Andre, you know, Hove, Nas.
Yeah.
Like, there's a sector of the world that's like, yo, y'all are still, you know, the big fish. And
But
so
I
it's
feel like I get what he's saying though, because I feel like if he put music out today, it'd be like just us that would appreciate it, like the people that grew up
but there's
on it.
nothing wrong with that.
But
In-
here's the
in a
thing.
way. In a
Here's
sense.
me being Captain Segway right now, right? Right now, like we're hearing all these AI mixes, right? And like there's
We
people
should
being
do some
like,
AI 3 stacks music.
I'm saying, like, so here's the
That
thing.
would be a
No,
way
you're
that
not-
we could really get some
Really,
3 stacks
yeah,
music.
Here's
bro.
the thing,
The
man.
right person
like,
got to do it though.
I'm not sure.
To write it.
Yeah, the right
spaz.
person got to do it.
So
though.
like I've been fascinated with this whole AI thing because it's like there's certain songs I'm like God, like all the Rihanna AI I heard I was like
The
oh this shit is
Rihanna
fire.
Tim's AI,
Yeah.
bro. You was like, oh.
Bro,
That just shows how much we need Rihanna music though at the same
Same.
token.
Like I heard that Thames record, I was like, this is a Rihanna song. Like I
was
don't
like,
even.
Rihanna wrote this.
God bless Thames. I don't want to hear the Thames version no more. I just want to hear the Rihanna version now.
all right. So
Which doesn't exist.
But for
as-
some reason, like bars, like AI, like rappers, like you can hear the cadence, but it still lacks like a certain like,
that
when you-
goes to show
You
that
know?
That's because people don't actually rap that.
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly.
You can't just do a
Thank
3
you.
stacks AI and just have a motherfucker
Thank
rapping
you.
and say anything. You know
All
what I
right,
mean?
but if
'Cause
y'all
it's
had to
like-
pick a song,
No,
for-
I'm not picking no
for a
song.
three-
These shits are fucking whack.
Oh,
bro.
pick a 3-stack song. for
yeah,
him
that
to-
you would
to
put
AI?
like a 3-stack AI on.
I mean,
3
he's got
stacks AI verse.
shit. He's got like such a nice like blues. Like I wouldn't AI him rapping. Like I would AI him on some like
On some his
sing
blues,
songy
yeah.
like his bluesy shit. You know what I mean? Like if we had Andre 3000 singing like an Anthony Hamilton record or some shit, like that'll probably sound
That'd be
fire.
dope.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's
sound
it's
dope.
weird. It's weird,
It's
man.
not.
Like,
This
'cause-
this is not a thing. Here's where I get upset about, because it's like we're removing the quality of these artists and letting such and such from Alabama recreate what we
Okay.
think is what it is.
But
And
here's
it's
the
not.
thing. I
And it's
read.
But why have a problem with it? It exists.
Yeah,
You know
that's what I'm saying. Like it's
Like,
already here.
I mean,
It's my
I did.
thing.
I mean,
It
like,
ain't
it's
going
not, I mean,
nowhere.
it's not going to go. Like, obviously, like I can't control it.
who
Like,
knows what's gonna happen with
Like
it?
artists might be.
I see a
you
lot
know,
of people being upset about it though, or like
I saw
bugging
Drake
out.
was tight about
I
it
guess
the
I'm
weekend.
thinking more like I don't give it much thought, but if I did, I would be like, how do I use this creatively? How do we make something dope or lucrative
Grimes-
out of
Since
this?
it's here,
So
we're playing as
Grimes,
well.
Grimes is an artist, and she said
crazy.
she's offering 50% royalties to
Yeah.
anybody out there that
saw
can like
that.
create like good AI
dope
versions of
ass
her
Grimes
songs.
song.
Which I'm just like,
So you get 50, I
that's
get
fucking
50.
brilliant. You know, like if a zillion people are doing your AI joints
From a
and you
business
just play-
standpoint, yeah, that makes sense.
I heard that shit. I was like, damn, that's fucking brilliant.
That's
you know what I mean?
fire.
Like it's. I mean, because people are gonna enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like in one way, shape, or another. Like, but
Who's
at
gonna be the first person to put it on their album? That's the question.
I mean,
'Cause I could-
apparently, I heard.
I could even write a
apparently it's
song
already happened.
and then have AI do it, and it'll sound kind of crazy.
But
have,
see,
like
like, you-
my own AI do a
Oh,
song
and then
that
put it
I
on your
write.
album?
Yeah, have somebody else perform a song.
But see, like that's
then
also
they
like
AI
you.
it through me.
But that's like you writing for somebody. That's you're ghostwriting.
Yeah,
For
for
myself.
For
Yeah.
AI, but for
So like,
AI,
but for that, I'm not mad at that because that's the artist giving the actual permission.
So allegedly,
to do so.
the old Michael Jackson posthumous album that came out forever ago, like that was allegedly the first album that used like AI vocals. Like that wasn't Michael Jackson, and that Drake record.
Allegedly.
I mean, there was a whole lawsuit about it, but that Drake record with Michael Jackson,
that was AI?
apparently that was AI too.
You capped, G.
I'm dead. That's what I'm like,
You apparently
Apparently, allegedly. Look
Look it up. That's when the nigga starts to lie.
Like now, all of a sudden, it's apparently
Google the shit, bro.
When Scorpion came out, we weren't talking about none of that shit. Now AI, everything's here.
telling
Now
you,
we want
That
to.
shit
when
came
it
out
go-
when that Michael Jackson, I was like,
It was called Don't
mic
Matter
drop,
to Me?
nigga.
Was it was called? I think it was called Don't Matter to Me. Google that shit, bro. There was a whole lawsuit. They were like, yo,
you and that
these
allegedly
aren't real.
apparently shit.
Wait, what year was
There
that?
was a whole lawsuit.
What year was that?
Whenever Scorpion came out.
That was
couple
what,
months after.
2018.
There was a whole lawsuit. They were
2018.
like, yo,
I don't
these
think there
aren't
was
Michael Jackson
AI.
vocals. I'm telling you, it was there.
I don't think the
If there
lawsuit was
was
based
any-
around
If there was
AI.
any
I don't think
estate
it
that
was
would
based
have
around
had
AI.
that shit 4 or 5 years ago, best believe it was the fucking Michael Jackson estate.
Listen,
bro.
I know when my artists are actually spitting, writing, singing. I know when my artists are there.
For now?
I know.
For now?
I know. So then so be tricked if you want. But I know. Even when I listen to the Drake joints, right?
Okay.
When I listen to the Drake joints, when I listen to the song structure, the writing format, the bar structure, I'm like, yo, this is not
not
him.
AI.
That's not him.
Yeah, you could tell.
That's
You could
not
tell.
him. Like they,
oh, you
they
said
had
it
a
is
big,
AI.
Yeah, like you
I'm
can
saying
hear
it's
you can
not.
hear the AI through like the Drake verses. I
Yeah,
was like,
I'm
this
like,
nigga-
that ain't him.
But I mean, but there's like the Rihanna shit. The
And
Rihanna
they
shit
said
was
the
the
Michael
first thing.
Jackson was the
Was that breaking news?
You gonna go back and
Google
listen
it.
to it?
Google it, yo.
I don't think that's true.
It's not
Turn it all the way up.
It's
That
not.
shit sounded real to me.
Google this.
Reverb on it, bro.
The Michael Jackson Drake
Bro, it's
record
not,
don't matter
bro.
to me.
No,
I'm telling
bro,
you,
it's
that
not.
was AI mic. Those were
No,
not.
it wasn't.
There was not some lost mic. Boom. Here we go.
Read it off.
He just deep
Quote unquote from
debunked you,
MTV.com.
with that alleged ass shit.
Allegedly.
Apparently ass.
Debunked your shit.
Michael Jackson, the king of pop, would have turned 60 on Wednesday. Though he died 10 years ago, Jackson and his immortal voice have experienced a renewed place in the spotlight in 2018, thanks in part to eerie downbeat vocal used by Drake, Scorpion, album track Don't Matter to Me. Jackson, in part, it was revealed around the time the song dropped, dates back to 1983, recording session with Paul Anka. The snippet got shopped around to other artists, including Tyga. Blah, 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 Drake was so passionate.
Where the fuck are you talking about
So was
AI?
him.
Like, come on, you're doing a
Why
lot
you
of
reading
talking right
the
now.
wrong
Like,
part out?
get to the point.
That's
He said, why you went to the wrong part? Like, now you're trying to
Get to the point.
Reading the part that
You the worst person to argue with, bro.
Lawsuit allegations of impersonation.
Did you just go search another thing because that one
This is
didn't say what you wanted it to? That's crazy.
That's what he did before our very eyes.
The
That's
ghost.
reckless.
Here is the quote from
That nigga
MTV.com.
using all the 3 A's. Allegations, apparently, allegedly. Get the fuck out of here,
The
bro.
ghost quotes, the ghost of Jackson's voice has also brought with it
What
a
site is
string,
this?
MTV.com, a string of headlines this week after fans filed a class action lawsuit against his estate and his record label, claiming an impersonator sang certain vocal parts
That's not AI,
on the
though.
first
That's not
album
AI.
released after
Kaz, that's
Jackson's
not
death.
AI,
Time,
bro.
Someone else that
Yeah,
did
you
it.
lost that argument. Put that phone
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Telling you, bro.
down.
You lost.
Telling
Because
you.
that shit was smacking too. It was smacking too hard. I ain't gonna lie. It was. I remember where I was when that shit came out. I was heartbroken. I was in Portugal, like
Yo,
straight
nigga,
heartbroken.
Give that.
Trash in a hotel room.
that
I was drinking and drinking
Drinking and driving.
in the hotel room.
It's a good record. It's a
Yo.
good record.
Drinking
I'm
and
telling you.
drinking.
Shit.
Oh
was
my
heartbroken.
I was
God.
an impersonator. I was a
Give that
computerized impersonator.
Nah, nigga, give that
No,
shit.
that
the
shit was
fuck
really
up.
speaking to my heartbreak, like a real, actual Michael Jackson
was you,
vocal.
that
That shit was
Damn.
real.
I hope I didn't break your heart with that, bro. I'm telling you.
His heart was
Nigga, you
already
didn't break my
broken.
heart. Shorty broke my shit.
His heart was already broken. He's safe now.
That nigga's good right now.
He talking about, I'm sorry.
Yo, I'm sorry, bro.
man.
This nigga didn't even know you back there.
My bad, yo. I didn't mean to break you.
I'm trying to act like it don't matter to me. I'm like, this shit matter to me. I can't even deal with it right now. I was fucked up.
Niggas out in Portugal breaking shit.
When you start singing the song and start crying at the same time,
Yo,
it don't matter to me.
bro, I drank the whole bottle of Hennessy,
Bro,
like
And it only
solo.
mattered even
The
more.
whole fifth. That
this
shit
nigga said,
mattered,
yo, I'm
bro.
in Portugal. I'm breaking shit. Kaz like, yo, I hope I ain't break up.
My bad, yo. I'm not talking about
Bad,
you.
bro.
Nigga
That
drinking a
shit.
fifth of Hennessy, like trying to
The
stay
whole
above the
fifth,
flow,
like
bro.
dolo, like that shit mattered to me.
Bro, I think, yo,
What you were saying, it didn't.
I'm not gonna hold
No,
you.
I said that shit mattered to me. I was like,
You was
know,
singing along like-
she dropped a ball, and I was like, or dropped a bomb rather, and I was like, I'm gonna put the phone down and destroy this hotel room. She was like, don't do it. I'm like, I gotta do it.
I didn't ask. I'm gonna do it.
Please don't.
Yo, he was playing all those records.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta do it.
Drinking and driving is such a dangerous life to live.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. When you know how he used to drive the records at like 6, 5 in the morning.
Oh,
That was the problem.
OVO hours?
That was the problem.
I remember OVO hours. Yo.
OVO hours, yo. When he dropped Marvin's Room before Take Care came out.
That was a dangerous time. Let's go back.
I had just broke up with my ex,
Bro.
and I'm just up at 5 in
Did
the
you
morning.
leave her a voicemail?
Cups of the rose.
Nigga, did I cursed that girl the fuck out.
Bitches in my own phone.
You know that only, hold on. You know the thing about that is that only makes us like feel better.
Yeah,
'Cause we only want you to give
but
a
I feel like
fuck.
shit because like I drunk a whole bottle of Pinot Grigio. Right?
Whole bottle. See, that's when you know you hurt. You drink the whole bottle.
The Pinot too, bro. You was white wine,
No help.
heartbreak drinking,
No help.
bro.
Nigga, I went to sleep for 3 hours. I woke back up, went to the liquor store, and got more wine.
Were you watching the TV until the TV watched you
Nigga,
back?
I was sitting in the. I would
I would never give you that satisfaction though to cuss you out.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do that
I would
because
never do that.
I
it
was
only
enraged.
strokes our ego. We're like,
I was enraged.
oh yeah, he's going to
I
do
was
it.
enraged.
I'll never
And
do that.
I was sitting in the dark.
You didn't watch the TV.
I'm gonna
and
seethe in that
until the
shit.
TV
I'm gonna
went
just
off?
let that shit fester.
That's why you broke everything in that room.
Yeah, I'm gonna break
He
the
had to
room.
do something.
I would never give you that satisfaction.
Nah, yeah, she had to get that. I'm sorry, she had to get that.
God damn.
I love how this conversation just went this from AI to heartbreak.
It's real, bro.
Don't drink and drive.
Be like that, bro.
No AI and drive. either.
Vic, you've done this incredible festival in Ghana with Chance over the past several years. I know you mentioned about how the pandemic sort of like changed your outlook on so many things. This obviously is something that touches more than just the continental U.S. It's a worldwide sort of thing for your festival. Talk to me about how you and Chance sort of came together to put this thing together in Ghana every year.
Yeah,
The
no
Black Star
doubt, man.
Festival, right?
Black Star Line.
Black Star Line, sorry about that. Talk to me about how it came together, bro.
Yeah, so I grew up going to Ghana because my family is Ghanaian. And
All right, West African, gang, what's up?
you Nigerian?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you giving me Nigerian vibes with
There you
that
go.
stunt you just pulled.
Yo, he saw you go back and search something else. He
just
said,
admit
"Did
it.
you search another
I'm not
site?"
getting past that shit, my nigga.
Nigerian, that was so Nigerian.
He Googled exactly what he wanted to
Scamming your
find.
face.
Nigga said allegedly, apparently, like, nah,
Scamming your
nigga,
fucking face,
it
nigga.
wasn't there. Let it go.
No, I got love for Nigerians though, man. My parents met in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are a wild bunch, but I love y'all.
Clearly.
Yeah, man. I grew up going to Ghana from age 11, age 17, age 21. But I don't think that I truly appreciated the immense privilege that I have to be in direct communication with my ancestry. As a kid, obviously, it wasn't cool to be African. It was like you African booty scratcher.
Oh, I've heard it all.
Y'all wear loincloths.
Yeah.
What's your dad, Jamaican?
The,
You know what I
the
mean?
lines in your backyard, like all the
Like, no
bullshit.
niggas.
You know what I mean? But in more recent times, I think I started to really realize the privilege that I have. You know what I mean? I'm African directly, but culturally I've been raised in an African American environment.
Yeah.
And that's something that has been stolen from the people in my community is to know where they come from and to know their names and their gods and their villages and their history, you know? So I think when you got privilege, you also have responsibility. And as I started spending my own time in Ghana and immersing myself in the music and the art, in the fashion and the culture, I just realized that there's this tremendous gap that somebody's got to fill. You know, I'm looking at my own career and I'm like, I'm from Ghana and I've never performed on the continent of Africa. I've performed Europe a million times.
Yeah.
Not just London, but Leeds, and not just Berlin, but Dusseldorf. Nigga, I never heard of Dusseldorf before I got booked to go there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? B and C markets in Europe and Australia and Asia, but never Africa. And that's not sustainable because the people love the music.
Yeah.
I mean, hip hop is a uniquely Black American art form, but Black American people are uniquely African people. It's like you can't erase that with 500 years of domination or
Now,
oppression.
was it something where you weren't getting your booking agents or your
You
tour
don't get
managers
booked
wasn't
in
getting
Africa.
there?
That's not how that works.
You had to go in there and make it happen yourself.
You would get booked in. You could get booked in South Africa. They do some festivals and they got a like vibrant hip hop scene and they have more resources and infrastructure. But largely, you will not be booked in Africa for a host of reasons. But none of those seem too significant to be overcome by like, you know, unity and collaboration. And so as I started to think about that, I was just like, man, I got to be able to create some type of structure through which Black artists could be coming to perform for their fans on the continent. Because these people have been following the music, loving to the music, living with the music, learning from the music the whole time. They on their phone, they're on the blogs, they're on the sites, they're following everything.
Even creating their own form of music from what they've learned from us.
For sure. They got hip hop scenes that are inspired by what we're
They're
doing.
arguably
here.
hotter than us right now. Like, arguably.
Podcasts. Like, it was really, I was in South Africa sitting down like this with some guys that do a podcast called the Sobering Podcast, and they were running down like verses I forgot about from 10 years ago and talking about like internet tape and acid rap and all this shit. And I'm like, damn, I can't believe that I've never interacted with these people and they love the fuck out of this music. And so I was like, there's got to be a way where I can be bringing Black artists to perform and giving them a cultural experience. I'm sure I'll be able to get people to sign on for the love, you know what I mean? Because we as Black Americans have a longing for Africa, you know what I'm saying? And so from that inception of the idea, first person I really thought about was Chano, because I was like, bringing bro into this shit could quickly make it a reality, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so pretty randomly, it was like, I think it was just 2022, you know, I was in Ghana, I was telling all my friends, you know, I'm over here, they see what I'm doing, because I'm like, I do a lot of photography when I'm out there. And super randomly, he was the one that hit me and he was like, man, I'm trying to come down there in like 3 days. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I could figure it out for you because I got the plug with the government. And so I got the visas and all that shit, got it figured out. And then he pulled up, you know what I mean? And very quickly, like from that moment, that trip, 1 year was how long it took to put it together.
It's incredible. And you know, not only you guys, I mean, Afrochella, I got Abdul who goes out there and kills it every year. And
shout out to Abdul. You know, Afrochella was actually very, very instrumental in the Black Star Line Festival existence. So
That's dope.
The biggest shout out to Abdul,
Shout
to
out
Alvin,
Abdul, good brother right there,
you know,
man.
to
Definitely.
the whole team. You know what I mean? To Gifty, like, honestly, Alvin, who's one of the founders of Afrochella, was the primary producer of the festival.
word.
So it's
Nice.
like the stage, you know what I mean? The vendors and toilets and all the things that go into it. Like Alvin was the one that really made sure that shit worked. You know what I mean?
That's beautiful, man. I talked to Charlemagne a lot, and you know he made the trip.
Charlemagne was
That's
out there
it.
too, yeah.
Charlemagne was out there. I
Yeah,
think
I seen him
he
out
said
there.
he got a crib out there now too. So it's like, you know, it's beautiful to kind of see that like now every December is almost like a pilgrimage of like
it's
Americans
brilliant, man.
like making their
I
way.
think we got another decade on it too, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's getting choked up for sure, but that's dope though. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Somebody said it's the new Atlanta over there in Ghana. Sometimes like
I don't know about Atlanta.
sometimes like it felt real Atlanta-ish sometimes.
Atlanta,
It's not that far yet, but
you know, it is like it's definitely getting hype, and mad trendy, but like it's dope though. You know what I'm saying? Because Ghana is also a very safe and peaceful place. So even if it is like hectic or turned up, it's like it can be that because you can literally pull up, you don't know nobody, you ain't got no plans, and be all right. Like you ain't gonna get robbed, you ain't gonna
It's a
get
community.
shot. You know what I mean? Like that shit just doesn't exist over there. Honestly, it's like it be this tremendous weight off your spirit as a Black person or an American in general, I imagine, getting there and realizing that pretty quickly you like, oh, I see two people arguing. you start to understand that this is not going to escalate to the point of gunplay. You know what I mean? Like nobody's going to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Motherfucker might get slapped. I think the most I seen is, and then Africans they like kicking and shit. So they be chasing them motherfuckers like
You gotta take the slide off.
type shit. You know what I mean? But
Throw a fucking
it's such
sandal
a,
on the motherfucker.
That's not Kirby, so I gotta take the
it's such
slide
a
off.
peaceful place, man. It's like just ingrained in the culture that like they don't kill each other. You know what I mean? They can't imagine.
I'm glad you brought that up because one of the moments that I think a lot of people really saw you in a different light was when you approached academics one day about like the way he covered the city you grew up in Chicago, and a lot of people who had issues with the way that sort of was handled kind of like saw you and was like, man, like I'm glad somebody fucking said something to this motherfucker. I have no thoughts on him either way, but just being able to come from that environment and defend that environment in such a public way, and now fast forward all these years later, you're going back to where you're really from in your real hometown. It's almost like you say the weight's lifted off your shoulders. Like it's got to be just a different. I mean, how long did it really take for you to? You say it happens really fast, but how long did it take for you to really settle in and be like, wow, I can't believe this is how people live, how my people live, and I don't have to worry about any of this crazy shit or haven't even think it any sort of way.
It's complex though, because there is an immense price to the modern comforts and luxuries that we have, taxing on our mental health. And, we live in constant anxiety that we're going to miss a text message or a phone call or be
The FOMO.
2 minutes late to something, to a Zoom, and then they're going to cancel it. Like that shit doesn't exist over there. But I would never want to like idealize Africa as being like just some utopia, because obviously it's full of its own issues and socioeconomic limitations. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, like, from my position, which is also of privilege in many ways, it's like, yeah, this shit is beautiful. You know what I mean? When I tap in and I'm like, damn, I don't have to be sweating about like every little thing. Like I don't have to have my head on a swivel all the time. The thing about Chicago is like, or any hood in America, I like to think Chicago is every hood USA.
Right.
And we live with this constant cortisol rush taking place in our body and a perpetual fight or flight response that we live in, because at any moment, it could be critical.
It's real, yeah.
Gunshots could go off anytime in the grocery store or just on the corner or the liquor store.
School,
anywhere. School, yeah. You know what I mean? This is the American experience. And that's so haphazardous on our health in so many ways, especially being in the hood. And so to go there and be able to detox from that and just like fall into being a human being, not always thinking about, killing or being killed. It's so beautiful, man. Because it's taxing, man. Like I think about being a black man in America and how much my mind has been polluted and programmed to be in opposition to you or to you. And I might see another black man standing outside my crib that I don't know. And the first thing that pops in my head is, man, I'll kill this nigga. Who is this nigga? You know what I mean? Because
that's what
that's colonizer in my brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm wired that way.
There's a territory built thinking in your head, like,
Straight
why
up.
are you on my turf? Why are you in my block?
It's like, and ultimately that's the colonizer living rent free in your head.
Yeah.
Like this is us having been colonially conditioned to hurt each other. And being in a space where that is not the reality, I think it helps you get some perspective on like, oh, I need to take some of this piece back to where I'm from. Like my sensei, he often says like, man, it's easy to meditate when you on a mountain in Tibet.
Right.
Like, it's a little bit more difficult to meditate in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? But if that's my reality, I don't like to think that anything outside of myself can be the determining factor for how I'm living. So I try to take that piece that I find over there and implement it into my life.
And like, and speaking of peace and foundation, and trying to articulate the different mindsets you have these initiatives. You know, books before bars, save money, save lives.
Oh, that's love, man.
I mean, you have those initiatives, like.
Yeah, that shit is ill because, man, I've been sending books into the prison for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe even 12 years now. First book I ever sent was my boy Iceface the Goblin. I don't think they called him that in the courtroom.
I doubt it.
My client is not cold-hearted. My client Iceface the Goblin.
I'm no genius, but I don't think that's what they call him.
Not my ice face.
I know Iceface. I know the real. No, that's my nigga though, for real. Shout out to Iceface. I remember the first time, you know, that I knew him and he went to go do a real bid. And I had sent him Huey P. Newton, Revolutionary Suicide, because I was reading that book. I was 17. And Huey was talking about how in his incarceration in solitary confinement, he learned to master his memories. So he was living elsewhere while he was locked up, dealing with COs, racist motherfuckers, and all type of shit. So I gave it to Iceface, and I remember him telling me later on when he got out how impactful that was to him. And I think I realized in that moment that even if I can't help you physically be freed, you know, from your confinement, if I could give you the right book, the right information at the right time, then you may mentally be able to free yourself. And everything that we experience on a physical plane is just a representation of what's going on mentally and internally, as above, so below. So with Books Before Bars, I founded the first Black-owned cannabis brand in Illinois a year ago on 420 last year. And
put some horns on that.
Yeah, it was dope, you know?
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to make sure that if I'm selling something that's been used to steal freedom from so many, that I'm providing freedom to as many as I can.
Hell yeah.
So I started just buying books and sending them into the prisons, like the books that have helped me, like Huey and Assata Shakur and Angela Davis and James Baldwin and Florence Scovel Shinn and Eckhart Tolle, like everything from self-help, like manifestation books to like political Black power ideology to like Afrofuturism and Octavia Butler, all type of ill shit. And I'm right now just waiting on like going into Cook County Jail to do the kind of interviews with people that read the books and see how they've impacted them.
That's incredible, man. God damn. I mean, you talk about, you know, not just creating opportunities for people that look like you, but, you know, creating your own business, get books out there for everybody. I mean, you just seem like you're an artist. Well, not even seem like you are an artist who, you know, puts the people first before a lot of art. And today, Harry Belafonte passed away.
Damn,
he was
OG.
The OG of OGs, probably the first, in my experience, like the first like celebrity who was very much like a civil rights sort of activist and an icon. You know what I mean? I hate to ask on this sort of day, but like, you know, do you have any sort of, not memories with him, but like just anything that you kind of taken from his life and something that, as you came up as an artist and as somebody who's in the public eye and somebody who is extremely conscious on what he puts out there, and not just music, but especially helping his people, how somebody like him sort of like, you know, influenced the way you live?
You know, I know Harry Belafonte's daughter, Gina Belafonte. She brought me to come do an art show she was doing around mental health. And, you know, it's never been anything but love. And honestly, my pops would often tell me like, Harry Belafonte, you know, he was just like clean cut. He funded the civil rights movement by making clean, beautiful music. Like, maybe you should shut the fuck up about the police. And just do what Harry Belafonte did.
Wait, so like when he tells you that, like, how does your mind work? Because obviously you built a little bit different, or you have a
It just wasn't, I don't know, it didn't feel like me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my pops is always telling me the truth though, you know what I'm saying? And from his perspective, and I can completely understand why my dad would be in fear of me, like being openly anti-police. You know what I mean?
Be targeted.
Making songs about killing police. You know what I mean? And like, You know, my pops definitely told me not to go to Palestine when I was finna go there. Like, just when I go against power structures, you know what I mean? That like have the ability to pull it all out from under you. My pops is usually like, man, you might ain't need to do that, man. in his voice.
Being a father too, like he's trying to protect you.
You do not need to go against the police.
Yeah, that's the West African jumping out quickly. You don't need to go there, Joe.
No, I mean, but you know, I think he probably respects the fact that you believe in what you believe in, and I'm sure he's instilled that trait in you, and he doesn't want to see you, you know, have the rug pulled from under you or the powers that be try to take away, you know, your voice or your structure. So it's like you got to understand the protection, but he's 100%. Raised a strong, you know, militant, articulate black man to say, nah, this is what I believe in, and I'm, you know, down to, you know, sacrifice what I have to sacrifice for the greater good.
You know, I think from my pop's perspective as well, it's like he came from such a different environment, and coming into America, raising a black son on the south side of Chicago, that's anxiety ridden, you know what I mean? Because there's so many trappings that could catch you quickly. I could end up incarcerated for the rest of my life like that. I could get killed like that. And so I think that was always on the forefront of his mind. But ultimately, I feel like he has respected and appreciated the moves and steps that I have made and taken. And it's like, man, I kind of had to go through those stages of development for me to find myself in what I really believe in, the way I want to be. Like at this point, no, I don't want to be like kill cops left and right, you know what I mean? Because I can't afford to hold on to that type of energy.
Right.
Like that was a realization I had to have, was that it's too taxing for me to harbor hatred towards anyone or any group of people, let alone individuals that I don't even know. You know what I mean? I will never be an ally of the police force as a system in America, but I'm not holding on to like, I hate every cop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not holding on to
draining,
that.
man.
I'm not holding on to that about
You
anybody.
waking up with that energy
Nobody
every
will
day.
have that
Right.
power over me. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to be like, you know, I blanket hate a group of people for their profession or for any reason. You know what I mean? Even racists and like Nazis, it's like, I'm not going to be able to live my life just with a burning hatred for you, because I know that hate begets hate, you know what I mean? And the things that I want to create in this world come from eternal and unlimited love. That comes from that formless place where only love can exist. So I would rather create from that space. And I'll be critical, and I'll speak truth to power and hold that power to the flame, but I'm not gonna let it be so personal for me anymore.
I'll be opinionated. I'll let you know how I feel, and I'll let you know how my people feel. But like to hold that power, to hold that we're
I'm not holding on to that. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's also not actually the way to change things. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're too resentful. It's like you're just gonna bring more things into your life to resent. I want to bring more things into my life to appreciate. I want to be grateful and just have gratitude in every moment for everything, so I can attract more things for me to be grateful for.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Bars.
Those are some bars. I want.
Let him keep
Bars if I've heard them.
Let him keep going.
I would love to wrap the show up on this, but the last thing I want to ask you is, you know, you're an extreme sports enthusiast, and
Shit, here we go.
Rosy fancies herself an extreme sports enthusiast.
Rosie is? I didn't know.
Did you know? Like, you guys didn't know? Rosie?
Now you know.
Hey, look, that's an extreme sport in New York.
All right, Rosie.
You're in the Bronx,
What do you got,
Jason.
Rosie? Talk to
Okay,
us.
so I did want to know if you had to make an extreme sport for Chicago, what would it be? Because I think rat chasing is one of
The
you, like
one
avoiding them.
I had sent Kaylani was coming on tour to Chicago, and she was surfing throughout her whole tour, and so I found these photographs of like these niggas on surfboards with AKs and guns. And I said that to her, and I was like, "This is what you gonna do when you come to Chicago, guys? Extreme surfboard shooting.
He'll make it out alive.
I remember when Kalani was doing them stage dives and shit. I'm like, all right, there's only a few cities you can do that in. Like, you gotta.
No, I'm telling you, Chicago's a crazy place, bro. I was like driving down 67th Street the other day to go to my girl's mom's house, and I just see a young nigga like riding a dirt bike, through the street. It's not Philly, so that's not a thing that just people are doing all the time.
Okay.
He riding a dirt bike through the street, shiesty mask on, Glock just hanging by his side. I was like, yo, this nigga is on demon time.
Yo, he was
go
escaping.
assassinate somebody, or he just did.
He
And
had
I'm like,
just did it.
Bro, like, what you doing?
Sliding down 67, Glock hanging off the motocross bike. G.
Like, nigga, dump that shit. Like,
Never
what are you
forget.
doing?
I was like, man, I'm going back to Hyde Park. Gang. I'm gonna go downtown, bro.
I'm going to Hyde Park.
That's what y'all doing over here, bro. That's the extreme sports in Chicago.
Y'all win, man. Y'all win.
I'm about to say,
Y'all win. Y'all win.
I think you got rat dodging beat.
Regular New York, walking in the street shit.
No,
He had
I think
life or death shit.
my
win.
extreme sport would be just lighting the hookah and trying to catch the A train uptown. running with the actual hookah.
You're
Oh,
running
and
with the hookah.
trying to keep the coal on it?
Trying to keep the coal on it and trying to catch the A train.
You're gonna
Remember
lose.
that video of dude who was like, niggas, you do not need to be smoking no hookah. If you a straight
I said that right to
man,
this motherfucker. I was like,
if you a
yo.
straight man, that's
No,
just
no,
so
but you
funny,
don't
bro.
even
I'm like, add it to the list. Straight man
No,
can't
I
smoke
think what they
hookah.
meant
So
was
funny to me because I fake felt him though. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't
For a
smoked a
little
hookah
bit.
since then.
For a
I
little
haven't.
bit, I was like,
it's
I'm
more
not a hookah
about
smoker, but I didn't smoke one after that.
it's more
Listen,
about
listen,
recording
time out,
yourself
time
doing
out, time
it,
out.
Lo.
One, I don't
It's
know.
more
I
about
don't
blowing
do
the
that. I
smoke.
don't do that.
yeah,
in the
that's,
selfie
if I
camera.
remember, that's what it was. It was blowing the
It's
smoke.
blowing
up
the smoke
to
in the
That's
camera
what
like
was
you're a bad
vague.
bitch.
Vic, listen. I'm
That's
an
what it is.
avid hookah smoker.
He said I'm an avid.
I'm a smoke hookah
Talk
after I
to me.
leave here. I go to the spot called Sahara East that treats us like family.
Shout out
He
Sahara
comes
East,
there,
yeah.
she comes there, Jake been there.
For being fair, I literally only smoke hookah with you.
Only with me.
Only with you.
Right,
I live uptown, it's a little different for me.
But to your point, no, I don't record myself smoking
Hey,
the
yo,
hookah.
do that
I
again.
mean, I ain't even
Wait,
do
do
it.
that
What you
Yo, wrap this shit up. Wrap this
Hookah's got a glizzy vibe to him. They do.
You're holding a pole and you're blowing smoke out into the camera.
The hookah glizzy.
The hookah glizzy coming soon to Sahara East.
Yo, Vic Mensa, it's been good having you here, brother.
The hookah hoochie daddy.
That's low. That is low.
Bro, we're on to that now.
That is you.
Now we taking shots.
No,
now.
you
Like,
never
yeah,
recorded
yeah.
yourself smoking hookah?
I love smoking hookah. What- I
You've
don't-
never recorded yourself.
in the early
What's
days.
your favorite flavor, gang?
Mint, my nigga. It's not Hawaiian Breeze.
Listen,
It ain't beautiful.
Love?
It ain't Blue Mist.
low,
It ain't strawberry daiquiri. It's
the
mint.
glizzies
it's a
and
safe
smoke the
space.
hookah,
And
okay?
you know who smoked that mint hookah? My real nigga down there in Cave 7. That's
Shout out
the,
to-
I bet you we don't. I bet you we don't.
no, that's my shit. You know, I like to smoke hookah. That's what it is.
Hey
Like,
man, you
that's
already know, man. Shout out Sahara East. Smoky hookah.
Whoa,
Smoky
it. Now
hookah.
you done got it.
Fun
Like,
smoking glizzy.
Smoking
We done
hookah.
made it all the way back to square one.
now Victor is influenced you talking about smoking
Why you
glizzy.
stressed?
No, because yo,
He said smoking
Who are you?
glizzy. Yo.
You started it. We was talking about the
man, Vic,
hookah.
you started that shit, bro.
God damn.
Nah,
yo.
smoking
What
glizzy.
a
Yo,
funny ass
your
sound.
AO meter is just rising by
Your
the
shit-
episode.
All right, y'all got it.
This shit is bubbling, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
But how he eat a glizzy, right? But how he do that? But we
Oh,
ain't
yeah,
say
he was
nothing.
cupping- he was
We ain't
cupping-
say nothing about the cupping,
Listen,
though, right?
he was cupping, he was cupping.
Condiments.
You were cupping
Condiments.
Wrap
something.
this
We
shit
don't
up.
know what it
Wrap
is.
this shit up. bro.
Anyway.
Wrap this shit up.
However you feel comfortable.
Wrap this shit up, bro.
God damn. Check out the Strawberry Louis Vuitton video on YouTube right now. Incredible. Vic, I know you got tons of work coming out soon. Talk
Yeah,
to
we
what
got the new song out right now. It's called Swish. That's featuring Chance and G-Eazy. Put it
shout out
out
G-Eazy.
a few days back, and the music video coming like this Friday.
Nice. Oh, that's perfect timing. That's gonna come out right after this. So that's gonna be love, man.
Turn up.
Vic, friend of the show. Thank you for coming through.
I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for always
Man.
coming
Thank you for
through,
coming
man.
through, man.
Always love.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Vic Mensa.
Yeah.
Rosie, what you on this weekend, yo? What's going on?
Smooth and Glizzy.
Yeah, you done?
Yo, that nigga been shooting at all of us all episode. The nigga got
It's because he walked in on the Glizzy combo.
No, but hold on.
No, because he keeps talking about these rats. Our rats will fuck y'all rats up, bro.
ain't
Don't
nothing to be
play like
fucking proud of.
that. So what?
Yeah, they probably will. Y'all rats is like this big, G.
We're not doing that.
Our rats walk on the street like you
Master
in their house.
Splinter was one of y'all
I
rats.
know. Our rats be
It
in the
was
fucking.
from New York.
Master
Based in
Splinter
New
was
York.
one of y'all
Our
rats.
rats be
How
in
he
the dollar
supposed to
pizza shit. Like
fight a fucking kung fu rat?
that's Master Splinter, yeah.
Shout out to all the NYC rodents making
Shout
their
out to
debut this
Master
spring.
Splinter.
Hello.
All the rats in the rap game.
All the rat gang, you feel me? Lowe's here.
rat
What we on this weekend, bro?
My sister coming into town.
Hey.
Got
Shout out to sister, shout out family.
a housewarming.
Housewarming lit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're doing that
I said,
Saturday.
hello, horns for that. Yes, sir. Hello. Love to see
But
it.
yeah, that's it. That's, just chilling.
Hey, man, you know where I'll be. If Game 6, if necessary, baby.
It better not
God.
be.
It won't be necessary. It won't be necessary, baby. Knicks on 5. Let's get it.
Lo, you going tonight? The Nick shit?
To who?
Are the Bucks?
I got to do something at 7, but it's not till 9, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Shout out Nick.
Yeah, I'm good.
Shout out
Meeting
friend
there.
of the show, Nick Bucks, as always. Harlem in the building. And once again, shout out to the one and only Vic Mensa for dropping through
Hey,
today.
I
Appreciate you so much.
Appreciate
This
you,
was
man.
so much fun, man. And that's it. Make sure you continue to subscribe. YouTube.com/Kazeem. Stay less with Kazo, Kia Rosy on all social platforms: TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you go. And make sure you subscribe to us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, SoundCloud, and wherever you listen to podcasts. And like we always do at this time, stay free, stay safe, and always
Stay black.
say less and stay black. We'll catch y'all next week.
Glizzy gang.
Yo, wait, Glizzy gang is wild, bro.
You made the
Glizzy
gang, though?
gang is wild.